Hey everybody, welcome to Things Are Getting Sketchy, the Hellboy Dark Horse Comics Universe edition. We got a full house tonight, so I will not be on camera much, if not at all, unless someone drops out. So say goodbye to this pretty face. Who we have tonight, which is much more interesting, is we have with us Mike Rooth.
Hey guys.
Woo!
And making a nice return, Richard Pace.
Hey, all, how you doing?
Jason Flowers.
Hey.
The enthusiastic Jason Flowers. And he does exist, Kelly Williams. At least his hand exists. And, giving us his wonderful digital art again tonight, we have Thomas joining us.
Hey, children.
All right, Thomas, since we landed on your screen, what are you doing tonight? Are you doing a Hellboy figurine? What are you?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna make a bust. We'll see how it's going for
Nice.
time wise, and he might get a body too. But for right now, it's just head and shoulders.
That works. Ruth, you got the big red paper out. What's going on?
Yeah, so I tried a couple different big red papers. I couldn't find the kind that I really like, and instead I found this what I thought was a red illustration board, but it's actually just a red, probably like a matte board for framing. But it was acid-free surface. It looked like I could draw on it, and just because it's only not a drawing board if you don't use it for drawing on. So I cut this down to 12 by 18. I'm going to do a Hellboy, but I use the scraps to cut some little 3x5 pieces. So I might actually have a couple little pieces to auction as well. Here's a little 3x5 Hellboy bust that I did to try the paper out and kind of test drive it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I got another one like similar to that, which I'll probably do. And then, this big full figure one as well. So that's what I'm doing.
Very cool.
And while he's there, actually, in case he's out there, Jason from the Granite Con crew, I did this for your daughter, Haley. So it's a Pinkie Pie. Just
Look at that.
Ah,
That's a great one.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, we got the B McIntosh. Not sure what the B is. We have Brian and what's
Brandon.
Brandon. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. And Casey's asking if you're going to do any unusual tools tonight.
I don't think so. No. I'm gonna.
Little brimstone.
Yeah, I'm gonna try a couple things. I might have a couple things on my sleeve yet. We'll see.
Very cool. All right, Richard.
yeah.
What do you? Okay, so we can see you brought in the blue line.
Well-
You got Hellboy. What do you got going on here tonight?
Yeah, I was working on a short comic story today, and I said, oh, you know what? I better be prepared because last time I launched into it during the video and kind of lost control of what I was doing. and Mike already came in with a started drawing. I was like, I got to do that. So I started doing some sketches, and I fell in love with one of them. So I went, well, I can go back and work on the comic, or I can just tighten this up and have it ready to go. So that's what I did.
Very cool. Jason, what about you, man? What do you got going on?
So tonight I'm going to attempt to draw Hellboy from one of my favorite books, which is The Wolves of St. August.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is it's the one that started it all for me for Hellboy. So
Awesome, man.
Very cool. Kelly, doing it.
Wendigo.
Nice. That's great. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. And what size is that, Kelly? Is that 9 by 12?
I don't. It's 11 by 14.
I would say if only you had some way of measuring it.
Oh yeah, none of that
I love when you guys have those borders that have actual measurements on it. You're like, I'm not sure.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, I
didn't mean to-
never used this.
didn't mean to put you on the spot there on it, but I was just like, you got it right there. Like,
Well, I was gonna do 9 by 12 when I first started, but then changed my mind, so
excellent.
I just kind of forgot.
No worries. All right, Thomas, and we already talked to get that bus going on there. Cute.
Yo.
How'd the tick end up for you, Thomas?
He still hasn't made it into the printer. I've been so busy, I can't get anything in there. I got the file all set up. I know it's brutal.
I feel attacked and betrayed.
No way, you'll be getting one.
I can't wait. I'm gonna put that glow in the dark moon in there, or the light up moon.
Yeah, I have it all set up so that the your moon should fit in there perfectly.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty excited to see.
So, Richard, what book are you working on right now? You said you were working on a book today.
I'm working on two things right now. We already started the fourth arc of Second Coming.
Excellent.
Third arc is coming out this month, I believe. First issue. Already we're getting way ahead. And Ahoy asked me to do a 10-page story. They haven't announced the book yet, but it's stupid fun. It might be one of the funnest little short stories I've done in memory.
Oh, very cool.
Nice.
And and I got something else. I just got good news on, and I can't talk about it yet. So.
Oh, I'm not gonna do breaking news here on the. Yeah, fine.
Paper has to be signed first.
Ah, yeah.
Paper.
Not official till that happens.
Yeah.
Any of you guys going to C2E2?
I wish.
Going, right?
Kelly, you're going, aren't you?
Yeah. I don't know why, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel that.
It's that confidence that everyone comes for.
Well, it's also like this will be my second trip to Chicago this month, and I've been traveling a lot in 1 month, so C2E2 is the end before I get like a break, and I just want it over with at this point.
I
get it. Yeah.
How's the life and death of the brave Captain Suave going? I finally remembered the title name.
Yeah, it's a long one, so I don't fault anybody. Well, the last issue came out a week before last, I guess, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, cool.
And the first arc, anyways.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then the trade comes out. I don't know, in a few months.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I'll get that last one. My book shipped yesterday, so I haven't seen it. Casey's asking Kelly what your booth number is going to be at C2E2.
I don't know.
She wants to know if you want her
remember.
to smuggle anything into the show. Contraband, so you're not having to pay the convention prices for drinks and food.
I mean, I'll say yes all day. I don't remember. It's you something. I'll post it probably after the show starts and everything.
That's the best time to
I thought you
promo.
were gonna.
I'm sorry, Richard. What?
I said for a second there. I thought he said I'll probably post it after the show's done.
Yeah.
Well, that's just as likely, though.
It's a great show. I haven't done it in a long time. I miss it.
It was the last major show I did before the pandemic.
Right? Yeah.
That was the last
Yeah,
show I
it was
did, right?
literally the last one.
Yep.
Like a week later is when everything just went ape shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I went to the one that they opened up in December, right when things were opening up. It was the last show I did. Oh, C202. Such memories.
I was at that one. It's been weird, like
Yep.
it's the last couple haven't been the greatest shows. I mean, monetarily or whatever, but I totally I'm like, you can't gauge anything by that because we're still getting back used to it, back to doing it or whatever. So, there's still people that probably won't come, that want to come or would normally go. Like, it's probably going to be that way for a while still.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crowds were back in big numbers at Toronto Comic-Con this past weekend. It's the first big show of the year around here, and it was a sold out event. The Friday was maybe the craziest Friday I've ever experienced at a Comic-Con. They did it. The convention center in Toronto has got a north building and a south building, and they typically hold everything in the south building, and all the celebrities and stuff go in the north building. But they had it all in the north building for Toronto Comic-Con, so it was very, very intense. Difficult load in, difficult tear down, just because it's a different kind of venue. But man, it was busy. Like, it was a busy show. And then Saturday was Saturday had it was fully sold out. They had over 20,000 people. But I think a lot of people were there for the celebrities that day, because in the Artist Alley it didn't seem so crazy on the Saturday. But then again on Sunday it went crazy again, big time. And it was a good show overall. It was a really good show. I was kind of nice. But it's weird. It's like things are back, but things aren't back. Like, there's lots of people, there's lots of enthusiasm. I don't know that the sales are there yet. I was lucky. I was able to move quite a few comics at this one. I don't normally move a lot of comics at shows, but people were into.
Yeah, I've sold more comics at the last couple shows than I have in the last 10 years, probably.
Yeah, it's weird, right? I always sort of bring everything I have, and I sometimes have the grid wall that I put up with all my comics on it, display copies of everything. But this year I decided to go really simple, just one little, rack on my table and a few things loose on the table, and probably had 5 or 6 different titles I've done covers for. And yeah, a few things didn't move at all, but all the Turtle stuff moved pretty well, and I moved a lot of Swamp Thing books, which was great. I was busy sketching all weekend, so it was pretty solid. Didn't sleep as always, but that's just a Comic-Con thing I do now. Apparently, I don't sleep. But yeah, kind of nice to be back at it.
I don't know how you do those shows without sleeping, man.
Oh,
it's
either
crazy.
do I. It's
crazy.
I clocked about 116 hours this time of just totally being awake. Wow. I don't know why or how my brain just won't let me rest, because I've every night I earn my rest. Every night I'm going to bed with all my drawings finished. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna wake up clean, start a new fresh day at the Comic-Con, take on some new sketch orders. I was good. I was on top of it. But 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd finally decide to go to bed, and my body would be broken, but I would just lay there wide awake until 8 o'clock, and we'd get on the road and drive to Toronto again. So it was crazy. But that's happening at pretty much every show I do now. So I don't know if it's just I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. I get all wired up, man. I get all these commissions in my head and things that I want to draw and problems I got to solve, and I just can't switch it all off sometimes.
Mike, maybe it's time for you to stop doing all that coke.
Yeah, really. Yeah, my God.
Gosh, could you imagine?
God, I couldn't even imagine. No.
Just talk to any of the guys who were working in the 70s.
Yeah, a Red Bull will pretty much put me in the hospital, so I'm not sure what cocaine will do, but I don't want to
Well,
find out the deadline writing on it anyway. Let's just put it that way. So
Right.
we'll just plan your funeral around you
yeah,
trying coke for the first time.
yeah.
It's
Well,
hard
that'd
to
be a good way to
go.
go. You were like 84 in the old folks home. You're like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna do a hit.
That's it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'll be taking that kind of a train out for
Go out
sure.
on your own terms.
I'm sure.
Yeah, give me that terminal diagnosis. I'm gonna do a bunch of wild shit in that last.
Oh no,
week.
it's gonna. Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna like. Let's see if I survive this. That's gonna be my mantra going forward. After that, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
Rob
see if
said
I-
Dodge meets Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Oh shit, yeah.
I would just eat Tide Pods.
Yep. Mhm.
Oh, you gotta come up with a better thing than that. Don't go out like some TikTok asshole.
No. See, they honestly look appetizing. So if
Oh,
I'm
you're
gonna
not the
go
only one that
anyways,
thinks so,
that's the
apparently.
time. That's the time to try it.
I think I'll pass on Tide Pods, man.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like how they can even look appetizing. What?
I like candy. I don't. I don't know.
I was thinking about that. You said it was the Wolves of St. Augustine, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
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 I love that cover. Actually, I probably have it handy. I had that Mignola art book out earlier, the Hellboy art book, which I picked up years ago. It's in really bad shape, but I love that one cover where he's whipping it with the crucifix, like it's like
Oh man,
and it's got the
that's like
the crucifix
yes,
stars all over it. Like it's such a badass image, you know?
yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. Yeah,
So
look at that, man.
it was originally printed in Dark Horse Presents,
Right?
from what I remember, and then they put it into like a one-shot book, of course. But yeah, those covers were just gold.
Out of control. Yeah.
Yeah, just the white background and just those red marks, just like all over his skin. Just yeah.
I'd love to see the original inks for those. That'd be crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
He's got a very he fills his blacks in with Sharpies for the most part.
Yep.
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So his originals have this kind of weirdly black and
Does
gray
he
look.
still
to
do
them.
that, or just back in the early stuff?
No, he still uses Sharpies for a lot of stuff, actually. Like the weird kind of wavy line that you see
Funky line.
sometimes, the outlines on stuff. He uses a fine Sharpie for that. Like that's why it's got that kind of odd kind of I don't know what the word is. Like there's an energy to it though.
Funky.
It's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know that. Because it always, like, a lot of his cover stuff always has that, ink washy,
Yeah.
like faint dark ink to it.
I love his watercolor stuff too. It's so great.
Yeah.
His pencil sketches blow me away.
Well, the ones he did for the pandemic were incredible.
Oh, I love that.
And then he was watercoloring some of them, and they were just like, fuck off. Like, they're so good.
It was cool to see it because, like, I saw, like he would post the pencils, and then several artists with, like, I think Jim Mahfood inked a couple of his pieces.
Yep.
Printed it out, and yeah, I was just like, oh, that's awesome. This is so cool.
I did too.
You did?
I saw a couple of years too, actually. Yeah, they were wicked. Some of the Kirby stuff, right?
Oh no, I mean I did some of those Mignola pandemic.
Did you want?
ones.
Was it the Godzilla? Did you do
I think
Godzilla?
I did Godzilla.
Yeah, he did a couple of them, if I recall. Yeah.
I did a bunch. I even did some I never posted just because, I
They're fun.
kind of went nuts and was just sitting there doing them
Yep.
for hours. I think I even inked a couple of them traditionally.
I wish I could find a digital inking style that I like, but I just can't. Just can't find anything that satisfies me. I know I'd be able to get done a lot faster if I could just get over myself and just fucking just ink with the computer, ink with the iPad, but I can't. I just can't.
Maybe if you
I
did
need
some
to touch the art, man.
Yeah, I just gotta have my hands on it. I need the physical evidence that I've done something that day. I guess I don't know.
Right.
That was the biggest hurdle for me, doing digital sculpt and going from clay to this.
Right? Yeah.
Like not being able to hit with your hands really threw me for a loop for a couple of years. That was real hard to get over.
Oh man, I can only imagine. Yeah, I want to play with some clay. Man.
Working in reverse.
Yeah. There's so many things you can do with your hands that you can't do it digitally.
Yes.
It's true. Well, for something that's not supposed to be drawn on, this stuff's taking washes okay, so whatever.
What type of paper was it again? Or is it framing board?
It's actually like a mount, I think it's for matting a photo, like it's mat board. I think it was in the paper section. I'm finding all the art stores around here have just been like stripped to the bone. There's very little what I need available at the shops a lot of the time, and I usually like to buy this stuff called Canson Metains paper, which I really like. It's a really strong, bold red. It takes washes and markers and all that stuff really well. And they didn't have any of it. They had this illustration board, so it's hard. Like it's like an illustration board. Like it's thick, but it's all red. And anyway, yeah, it's interesting. It's acting just like an illustration board, which I was not expecting it to. I figured all this stuff would be lifting off. That's why I did a couple of test pieces today, just to sort of try out some different things on it and see what I can get away with. But it's holding up like a regular illustration board, so I think I may have won this gambit today. We'll see.
Hey.
I have to show you guys later. Erica made it for me years ago when we first started dating. She made me sculpted me a Hellboy out of different colored Sculpey. When they had this, they were just trying out this new. Back then, it was a pretty new product where you could basically make an action figure using different colored Sculpey, and when you bake it, it would actually cook to the firmness of like an action figure, like an actual whatever.
Right.
Like a plastic action figure type thing, and it's fucking awesome. The one she made me, I gotta go and dig it out. It's up in the other studio, but yeah, it was cool.
I just found this 3D printer resin that prints rubber. So, the piece is completely bendable. And
really?
Yeah, for the longest time, I don't like making capes on my figures because they're solid and they look like garbage.
Sure, yeah.
But if I could do a one, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. That's cool.
There's so many things you can make with a rubber 3D printer.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Trying to behave. I'm trying to behave.
Oh, hey, no. Again,
And
the
failing.
title of the show is sketchy, so you're good.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen the Hellboy animated movies?
Yep.
Yeah,
A long time ago.
I saw them when they first came out. Yeah.
Those are the ones I never got around to watching. I was wondering if they were like.
They're not bad. They're not bad.
They're not bad.
What I'm going to bring up, there is, if you, I don't want to say it explicitly because I think I was too vulgar last time I was here.
No, you were.
But if you Google Hellboy and let's say something you could use to make yourself very happy with,
Oh,
they actually make one. There is a Hellboy, yes.
Oh man.
Is that a licensed product or?
I have no idea, but I did date a woman who wanted me to get it for her. And it's a sadness I never did.
So it's a chocolate Hellboy.
I'm sure you could try and eat it.
What are we talking about?
How old are you?
dirty rubber things.
Dirty rubber thing.
No, I know. I'm just being a smart ass.
The name of my punk band.
Well, that's actually a really good punk. A lot of times people do it. It's funny, but Dirty Rubber Things, that is a good punk band name.
It is. It is.
I mean, are they okay? So we're getting back. Is the animation worth watching? Like, like,
You know what? I didn't find. I didn't love them. I guess it's because when you're watching Hellboy, you want it to look like Mignola stuff. Like I would say, if you want to get a Hellboy fix, an animated Hellboy fix, I would say watch, the Amazing Screw-On Head, because that one actually kind of feels a little bit more like Mignola. Whereas the Hellboy stuff, I think it was called like Blood and Thunder or Iron and Thunder or something like that.
There's two of them.
I think.
Yeah, there's two of them. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to disparage it. I know a lot of cool artists worked on that, but it just, to me, if it doesn't look like Hellboy, it just isn't Hellboy. So it felt a little bit like I don't know, like a later G.I. Joe comic cartoon done as Hellboy.
Yeah, it was pretty generic animation.
Yeah, it was nothing.
I mean, it was faithful to the story, but it was pretty generic.
Yeah.
And I don't want to risk, disparaging. And this pen just died.
no, I get it.
But
sorry.
No, it's really true to the stories they're adapting.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the best thing you can say about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because it's the same way I felt about Gotham by Gaslight. Like a great story.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Don't.
It's on my list.
It's
The book is so awesome.
yeah.
It just looks. Yeah, it looks like they veered left with it
It's just
compared to the book.
It's just generic art. I mean, it's just such generic art, and it's like, I mean, they stay decently straight to the story, but it's just to see, because it came out like when they were doing all the war timeline type stuff.
Yeah.
So it had that almost like pseudo Jim Lee style. That just didn't work at all.
Right.
I'm actually kind of happy with the Doom That Came to Gotham. They did a pretty good job of it, especially in the writing.
I don't realize they animated that.
Which one?
Doom That Came to Gotham.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that
Yeah,
one either.
well, it's not gone wide yet. I think it's going wide in next week.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Usually I catch them on HBO.
Yeah, and I think that's when it's going on HBO. It's like end of next week.
Oh, awesome.
But I saw it, and they made some big changes to the story that work. In the same way that LA Confidential changed some of the novel to make it work better in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So really good writing. The animation's a little generic. They don't really capture what Troy did, but I don't think they could. Because Troy's style at that time was so deliriously wonky. I think it would have been almost impossible to animate. But yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Is that one you'll get any residuals from, or you worked on that?
Oh God, I hope so. That would be lovely.
Yeah.
I would like free money.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to be the standard DC deal where it's like I'll have to expect to be happy with whatever I get.
Right.
So I'm not expecting anything. So if I get something, I'll be happy.
Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do we love to hate ourselves so much?
Well, when I did the book, it was at a time when the idea of them making a movie out of it was like, really? Nah, it never happened.
Yeah.
It's too weird. And what's weird is I talked to DC. I said, would you want, another book to follow up? So you have something coming out. And they were like, nah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it's like, well, okay, there we go. That was almost a response. I mean, the only reason we really got to do it in the first place is Archie Goodwin loved it. I bounced the idea off of Mike. I gave him like an outline of the whole series. And he goes, oh, this is cool. I like it. And he went to DC and Archie loved it. And he said, all right, cool, do it. And then Archie passed away. And then I was like, I don't like the editor who took over. So that's comics.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny business.
Not funny, haha.
No, not the laughing.
Right.
Oh,
It's the more like
a joke.
it's like more like the
The screaming and existential horror.
What did I do wrong kind of thing, like why won't they call me back kind of a vibe, like because when you're working on a project, like whoever the editor is, I mean, if you're lucky, I mean, I've got to work with some amazing editors, and you really feel like you're part of the whole thing and the whole team and the whole project and everything, and then the project ends and you think, cool, that was fun, they'll want to do that again. And then it's like, just no responses, not even to like casual, like, hey, Merry Christmas, whatever, like nothing. And it's been like 2 years like that. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's easy to make monsters in your head when the game is designed to make you feel bad about yourself, I guess. I don't know.
At risk of like any editor who might be listening, editors aren't what they used to be. It used to be editors understood the work in a way that they just don't now. I mean, they may understand the writing, but that's about it. Well, think of how many editors are working that actually have a background in drawing.
I'll be honest, the editor that I had at Dynamite was amazing. Brian was incredible. He actually gave me like I'd send him in my rough sketches, and he would like actually take his time to like make good effective notes and get back to me with, if you just change the angle of this, or if you change that color to this, I bet you'd get a better result. And he would kind of pose it to me to do that instead of just being like, yeah, make this, change this, whatever. He would just be like, why don't you try that? And I would. And it would be like, fuck, that was a wicked idea. That really works well. And so it was like, it was kind of nice. I actually had Kalman from Toronto here. I won't try to say his last name. Kalman A.
Androsovsky.
Yeah, Andruskovsky. Yeah, he awesome, brilliant artist. He's drawing covers for X-23 right now. But he was my art director on a thing I did, a little project I worked on before Christmas, and he was fantastic. Like being able to talk to another illustrator in the same language, for art direction was just such a nice, rare thing to have. It was fantastic. Yeah. I would love.
Yeah, but to jump back to my point, editors back in the day, they assembled projects. They knew what the creatives were supposed to do, and they put the teams together. And now it's very much a bunch of people who, for the most part, kind of want to do comics themselves, and so they only get excited about the things that would be kind of like, oh, this would be something I'd create in many ways. And what that means is they're not shepherding the work as much as getting excited about the things that they think will make a mark with. At least that's how it feels to me.
Does anyone have any favorite Hellboy artists who aren't Mike Mignola?
Duncan Fegredo.
Yeah, he's great. He's so great.
Yeah,
Obviously, yes, Duncan.
Yeah.
Richard Corbin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He does a great job too. Yep.
I liked Lee Bermejo's Hellboy, but I think he said his story didn't get published.
Oh, I never saw it.
He's got like he'll post them every once in a while, but it's like a story that he started doing of Hellboy, and it's just amazing. And then I think he said it never got published, but also like Jason Sean Alexander's Ape Sapien series.
Yeah, that was wicked. Yeah.
And any of the Guy Davis stuff or BBRD.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Michael Walsh does a killer Hellboy as well. He did a story. It was just a one shot. I want to say it was like 2016, maybe. It was Krampusnacht, I think, and a great little Krampus story. And Mike just killed it on the artwork. Like he said, it was really cool working with Mignola on that. Like having him as an art director, and he leaned in pretty hard, I guess, a couple times, as he would. But overall, the experience was something he said was just really amazing. And getting a chance to draw Hellboy would be wicked. I just wish they'd make more Hellboy blanks and stuff like that. Like it would be currency for artists out there, at a convention to
probably have why they don't do it.
Probably, yeah, probably. I always feel weird. Like I never really feel weird about doing commissions and stuff. I had a couple of Hellboy pieces that I made less than 10 prints of, and I remember feeling really gross and weird when I sold them, and I just didn't feel right about it, and I haven't done any since. I don't know. It was just a weird thing. He
gets really upset about that.
He does, yeah. Well, I know he's also like, I know there's a lot of it that's out of his hands too, and that part bothers me. But it was a successful commission. I was like, oh, I'll give it a try, and then I immediately regretted it. I just didn't feel right. character that it's like the same thing whenever I do like I've only ever done a Turtles print like once, and I felt weird about it only because like I don't know, because when I asked IDW, they wouldn't let me do prints of the artwork I had actually done for them. So the idea of doing artwork that wasn't official and having it as a print felt like it was not even going to be on in the conversation. And so I just kind of felt strange about it. Every time it's with those kind of indie characters more, than other characters so much. Marvel and DC, it's a different thing, but something about the, those indie gods. It's like Frazetta. Like I never want to do Frazetta prints, like Frazetta characters, because I feel like, again, it's that same kind of heaviness and power. I don't want Frank to get me from the other side, like
I think it'd be okay.
Yeah, I just feel weird about it.
I was going to do a print for Doom coming out.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to a friend, and he says, you know, the permission you have from DC, that hasn't been reiterated in any sort of way by the people who own it now.
Right.
And you don't know what Discovery will do.
It's true.
Because those motherfuckers are crazy.
Well, yeah. It's weird.
I made the decision to stop putting prints out.
Yep.
It was anything that wasn't mine or something that I actually worked on.
Yep.
So I literally for the last few years, I only put out the print of my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cover from a million years ago.
Yeah.
And it still sells because it's Turtles.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's the thing. I did a sketch during a live event of Jason Voorhees battling the Turtles, and it's become the most viewed thing I ever created because it just got bounced around by all these fan sites and horror sites and turtle sites and all this stuff. No one ever says who the artist was or anything like that. It was, and the funny thing is the hilarious comments around the piece, people criticizing just how tall is Jason in this picture, 10 feet tall, all this kind of silliness that people fixate on. Oh, I mean, why would Leo have stabbed both swords through Jason when everyone knows that katanas are slashing weapons and not stabbing weapons? And I was just like, God damn,
dude, it's a turtle.
I was about to say that's the part they're fixating on the fact that there's 4 mutant turtles battling a supernatural killer.
I'm like, they're battling Frankenstein. They're basically battling Frankenstein. So he tries taking the chop and it doesn't work, and he sees one of his brothers getting bounced or choked or whatever, and so he stabs him through the chest with both swords, and that doesn't work either. That was the whole idea. If I drew the turtles kicking the shit out of Jason, no one would buy that print because it would be just a foregone conclusion. But when all the turtles are in jeopardy, it makes for an interesting print. It would have made for an interesting cover maybe, but again, it was something I didn't have any plan for. I just threw it together during a live show, and anyway, it's become the most viewed thing I ever did. I got a terrible scan of it too, so I didn't even make a decent print, but I made 5 or 10 of them and they all sold, and it was fuck, I don't know. It was just the way that IDW wouldn't let us do that cover. When we first did that Big Country Comics Last Ronin issue 1, we thought it would make an amazing full-size poster because I had drawn it huge. I had drawn it so big that we would have been able to get a really good, clean, nice full-size poster out of it. And IDW just said no. So I took that to mean that they wouldn't let me print it in any other capacity either. But, nothing's ever really clear, right? And within the 4 walls of a Comic-Con, is anyone really going to take you to task on it? It's hard to say. It's a funny business, man.
I still do it.
Yeah.
I do a certain amount of them and that's it. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't. It's not like I'm putting on shirts and
no,
books and
Well, I can see like if you had it's your actual cover, you're sold out of your cover. You know, you want to still have that image generate income for you. I don't see the issue in that if you're selling it in a purpose that's not what it was intended for. Like you're selling it as a poster or whatever. I mean, I don't know. They've already made their money on it, right? Like it's, you know what I mean? It's a weird thing.
Who actually
It's a
owns the
fickle
turtle?
thing. I mean,
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, Nickelodeon.
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, since Viacom took them over, I don't mind doing prints of turtle stuff. Like to me, that's just another corporate. That's just another corporate company. It's like the DC Marvel stuff. Like
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair. Yeah.
they paid for that shit. They got it. I mean, they can do cease and desists on everything, but there's
Yeah.
just so much out there. It's impossible.
Oh yeah. This. You never really hear of any lawyers or stormtroopers going through an artist alley, the kind that slap cease and desists on people. I mean, I've seen people have
No, they've done it.
Stormtroopers and Artist
Yeah,
Alley all the time.
Yeah, Disney
different
did that
kind
pretty
of
good.
Paramount did it.
legal stormtroopers. I mean, but
Paramount did it.
Yeah.
Paramount did it, Mike.
oh yeah, at a show.
Yeah, a few times.
Really? Oh okay.
Over
Yeah,
Star Trek,
they
yeah.
like. I remember reading about one of them, like because they just kind of went bonkers with it.
Was it like that dude who had the gigantic TV T-shirt booth that like literally had every DC and Marvel character as a T-shirt? Because there was that guy.
Okay,
He got pinned. I know he got kind of spanked for it, but
yeah. The big issue is they don't want you making a career out of merchandising off of their property because then it makes it harder for them to defend it.
right.
And so apparently Paramount got a new legal department head, and he just he knew he wasn't going to stop it, but he wanted to send a message that we can do this, so don't get carried away.
Right.
They had a show in Atlanta for when Walking Dead was still pretty big, and I think it was like I don't know. They're probably on like season 3 or 4, so the height of the series was pretty booming, and they did this company did a Walker Stalker Con is what it was called.
Yeah, I remember those. Yep.
And yeah, so they did it in Atlanta, and I set up there, and I had like 2 drawings. I did a Rick on the horse, and I did a Michonne, and there was someone who was going around through Artist Alley, going to every table to see if people had like fan art and stuff. But there were like ladies who had like clothing that they had purchased, and they were like making bags and satchels and stuff out of it, and they weren't really getting like hit with anything.
Yeah.
But the fan art and the guys were like, there's like tattoo artists that had like a piece sitting out, and they were getting harassed by it. And he's like, look, dude, like I'm tattooing this. I just have it out as like a display to kind of entice people to come over.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy wanted like his address and his phone number, and he wanted to confiscate the artwork.
Oh,
And so there was a lot of arguing and yelling at people.
oh man.
For trying, they were trying, like literally trying to compensate. They're like, give me your license so I can take your info down. And people were like, what? Like, fuck off. Like, I'm not going to give you that.
Wow.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of people haven't been to a Star Wars con.
Yeah.
Well, everything has to be LucasArts approved.
Yeah, I know
everything.
the Star Wars stuff. Yeah, like that, I almost tried doing that once because I'd done sketch cards for tops for Star Wars, and it's like we would only be allowed to like submit one piece, and then we could have prints of that one piece on our table. We could do commissions and stuff, but like that was the only piece we were allowed to have. So I was like, I don't know if I could afford to like make any money off of this. I mean, I probably could because they're such insane shows, but.
A friend of mine who does those regularly says the trick is you put you put the approved piece out, but in another folder, you have all your other Star Wars prints art. And you only pull it out if the person's eager and wants to see the other shit you're doing.
Right.
Yep. That's a good way to do it.
That sounds like a lot of work.
I know a guy who had.
I think he said he made about $10K a weekend at Star Wars and selling prints.
Yeah, I mean, those people are crazy obsessed. So I mean, that's what they're there for.
I know a guy who pays to get a Star Wars. You can get a certain number of licensed images approved if you want to do your own posters or whatever. And he would get a few done, and like they basically like make you print X amount. You can't print anymore. You can't print anymore again later. So it's one of those things where you pay a massive fee to get license and the ability to release this image wherever you want as a poster, but you might have to sell an awful lot of them to make your money back. But it's a case where you might be able to print something like 5,000 copies of something, and then that's it. But you've got those in your portfolio until they're gone, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's I remember he was running the math by me, and it just seemed like you'd have to sell a lot of fucking Star Wars prints to make that money back, to make it worthwhile. But having the official license was kind of a neat thing to have.
Well, as I understand it, the Star Wars crowd is voracious.
Yeah.
So if you do that 5,000 print run and it's good, you'll sell those 5,000.
Oh yeah. No, that's what I have no doubt. Yeah. Yeah, the different fandoms are crazy. Like having been exposed to the Turtles fandom at Granite was just incredible. Like seeing it at its full might. It was like, what the hell, man? This is a whole other thing. Like, never experienced anything quite.
Yeah, there's a good Turtles community.
What's that?
Jason was saying there's a good Turtles community.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing community. It's incredible. Yeah. It gave me a taste that like it sounds crazy, but like if I didn't have any work going on or any other projects, I could probably just sit and draw Turtles fan art, and that would be it. That could be my job. Like it's really an unbelievable wellspring of just a really focused fandom. It's not something I've experienced before.
The Thomas, are you gonna make a bust with the full horns and then version with the?
Yeah, I was thinking about getting crazy with magnets and putting magnets inside so you can just take them off.
You should get crazy with
That's
magnets.
cool.
That would be the way to do it.
Oh, that would be cool.
That's what Erica did with mine. The one she made at a Sculpey, she put
really?
magnets in. Yeah, he's kind of standing there in this kind of fixed position with his hands out in front of him, and you can put the horns in his hands, and yeah, it's like he's just busted them off his head.
Awesome.
I'll go find it. I'll bring it down in a couple minutes. It's pretty rad. I don't know if I got the horn still. It survived a couple of moves, so it's gotten battered up over the years, but it's a pretty cool artifact somewhere around in this junk pile I call it studio.
The stuff I made out of Sculpey, after a couple of years, it gets really brittle and falls apart for some reason.
Oh yeah.
You guys hear they're gonna do another Hellboy?
I heard. Yeah.
Hellboy, the apology. I mean, what's this one?
Oh. I didn't mind the last one. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't.
I like the horror aspect.
There was
that they're
aspects
trying to do.
about it.
But yeah, it's just I don't know, man. Like I was thinking about that before the show, going, okay, I can tell you things about the first Hellboy movie I like and didn't like. I can do the same thing with the second Hellboy movie. The third one, I was trying hard pressed to remember if I watched it or not. That's how little of an
Think about that third one. Yeah, I sort of felt like it showed you what could have been a great movie, It showed because there was a couple things stylistically that looked like I didn't like how he looked personally, and I didn't like how he acted this weird, cranky, I'm a teenager, I hate my dad for some reason kind of angle in the story. But I thought like the pig guy was fucking awesome, and I thought they nailed that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff really felt right, but again, it was like, oh, you got that so right, but how did you get this basic thing so wrong? And it was kind of like tit for tat constantly throughout the whole film. I'd be like, oh, that's great. Oh, you just ruined it. Like, it was that kind of thing.
Yeah, I could see that too. That's how I felt with the Guillermo del Toro's movies too, though. Like, there's a lot of really cool things, and there's a lot of like cringe moments for me.
Well, like it's like anything to me. The essential thing that's missing is Mignola in those films, and you know, and it's a hard thing to translate into film. I mean, I backed that Kickstarter that Drawing Monsters thing that's got the great little documentary about Hellboy, and it's got Mike drawing a Hellboy and stuff in it. And it's actually got Jay Sean Alexander drawing and Duncan drawing also, and really cool stuff. That one was, but yeah, it just I don't know.
I thought Mignola like helped Del Toro with Hellboy.
I think he did to a point, but
was it just like character aspects?
I think it was very much just Del Toro's movie. Like, I think he said, "Well, that was your Hellboy, and this is my Hellboy." They actually had kind of a tough friendship at a few points in the making of those films because Mike just wasn't seeing it the way he was, and he talks about that a little bit. Like, they're still great friends, but they went through a period where they're like, okay, I'm done and you're done, and you know, I'm gonna go over here now. Bye. Like kind of thing. Like,
yeah, there's a thing with directors, and I've only worked with a few, but they take ownership in a way that's got to be really fucking hard if you created the fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There was one film I was doing concept work on, and I don't want to say names out of turn because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to ruin any opportunities for people. But the director was talking about his movie, and I brought up how one thing he wanted me to redesign was completely against the comic book. And since I was a fan of the comic book, I knew how it would turn out. I said, well, won't that make this difficult? He goes, I don't give a shit of what the comic did.
Yeah.
And I get it to a certain degree. I mean, his job is to make a good movie, but motherfucker, you don't have a job unless that comic book's out there.
That's right.
Yeah, the ones that don't respect the source really bother me.
Yeah. Like, do your own take for sure, but like, let's have some respect, you know? Like,
Yeah, it's never a good sign when every time I read an article or something about the writers or directors or writer director doing the whole. No, I've never read the book or read the material or the D&D movie that is just coming out or will be out. Same type of thing. I was reading like, oh, fantastic! You brought in two directors that couldn't tell you anything about D&D or writer director team that couldn't tell you anything about D&D, and they just think everybody playing D&D is just some goofy guy in his mom's basement. So that's kind of how they're playing the characters.
Yeah.
Fun. Well, I hate to say it, from what I've seen of the movie, they actually caught the essence of D&D.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, I hope what I'm pulling from the articles is wrong. I mean, I would love to be wrong on this.
Yeah,
I saw a clip from it that looked pretty funny.
Yeah, it really looks like instead of trying to do a serious movie using D&D as a basis, they're basically, okay, this is what the game's like. These are how the characters act in the game, and I'm for that. I'm okay with that.
Oh yeah,
but I agree. It's like when Tim Burton. There's a pretty famous spat between Kevin Smith and Tim Burton.
I know what you're going about. Yeah.
Kevin Smith did a riff on Planet of the Apes, and Lincoln's head was an ape head, and then Tim Burton does that in the movie. And so they get in a public spat, and Kevin Smith wasn't taking it seriously because, the idea was there, right? Someone just had to do it first. But then Tim Burton was really pissy, and he says, I don't care if you did in the comic first. I never read comics. And Kevin Smith came back, well, that explains Batman.
Yeah. And, I'll say though, I mean, I'll go to bat for Batman. Batman Returns. I'm a little rough around the edges on that one.
Yeah, I love Batman.
I can't watch Batman. It looks like it was filmed for TV in 1985.
Kind of was, But yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a rough hit because everything, all the models and everything. But I mean, it's mainly
the design's great. Nicholson's great. Keaton's great. The movie itself, not so much.
Yeah. But I mean, from where we were before that, like the fact that they were, I mean, it's Tim Burton, and Tim Burton's going to put his fingerprint all over it because, again, it's Tim Burton. But the fact that we got what would probably be the most, when I say serious, not like the subject matter being taken serious version of a comic book movie ever at that point. I mean, I was just elated. And of course, Jack Nicholson as the Joker. I really would have loved to have been on the set just to see what the fuck was going through Jack Palance's head. With did he see Nicholson doing, he's doing a Joker, this over the top, that I must do my gangster, this over the top. Because you are.
Well, there's a good chance that Palance wasn't even on set anymore. He was probably filmed it in 3 days and out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, he's never really not on screen that much. He's got, 3 scenes, maybe?
Yeah.
4. But just like when he does the whole, don't forget your lucky cards, and just crumples the cards. You are my number one guy. It's like, please someone check him and make sure he's not actually having a heart attack at this moment.
Yeah.
But one thing about that movie that probably wasn't until 10, 20 years later that really kind of put it together, Prince exists in that universe.
Yeah.
Because, with the whole art scene, with Lawrence, and he plays the boombox, it's actually playing Prince in that world.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Funny, I just saw his Bat Dance video a couple of days ago. It just flew by in YouTube while I was watching videos.
Oh yeah, man.
It's
great.
awesome.
Yeah.
So great.
He would have made a decent Joker by the looks of him with the makeup on.
Actually, yeah.
But he was throwing the foreshadow of Two-Face.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I didn't get to say it earlier. We were talking about the Hellboy movies with Del Toro and everything, and like his versions of it. Like, you can go into any Del Toro movie, but Hellboy is no exception. For me, it's like you got to accept there's going to be just at least like one super thing that Del Toro thinks is cool that makes it make absolutely no sense if you think about it more than 2 minutes. But just if you watch it, because like the whole Hellhounds in the first one, like dividing every time they die and making more until they just don't.
Yeah.
But I actually like the characterizations of all the primaries in that. Like I thought he handled the characters very like aesthetically. It's going to be what it's going to be. But
yeah,
I mean, Perlman was awesome as Hellboy, and I loved.
Oh yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
Doug Jones was phenomenal.
Oh,
yeah, that
Dave
was great.
I was really hoping that we were going to get a spin-off.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
The Shape of Water was basically Guillermo thinking he owned Abe Sapien.
That is
Yeah,
so
like-
true. You're right.
It's so Abe Sapien that
Yeah.
the design and everything. I was like, wow, this
Well,
is.
and it's also Doug Jones. So yeah.
Yeah, it was Doug
Yeah.
in that movie too.
Well, I had heard that he had wanted to do Creature from Black Lagoon, and
God, yes.
at the time, Universal was trying to do that dark universe
Mhm.
world that they were trying to do
Hmm.
with Tom Cruise and the Mummy, and like they
Yeah.
were planning to do like a release of all these characters, and they told Guillermo to no. So he's like, "All right, well, I'm going to go do my own."
Yep.
I don't think I'd want a Creature of Black Lagoon love story though. Like, I'm cool.
Oh
with it.
man, that's the whole point of the Creature from Black Lagoon. It's a love story,
Well,
the
I mean,
original at least.
it's
The
It's kind
first
of
one.
kind of rapey, but
yeah, I was about to say, if you're into stalker
No,
rapey
no,
shit.
no. Hey, I didn't say it was a good one, but I'm just saying, like,
got a Pepe Le Pew
he fell
vibe
in love
to
with
it,
her,
but
and he
yeah.
wanted her.
Mm-hmm.
I always pictured Jennifer Connelly playing her if they like had redone it.
Hey, I'm down for Jennifer Connelly playing anything. Wait, would she be the creature or would she be the interest?
No,
Oh, I mean, because
Yes,
she
she'd be
could pull
the creature.
both. I mean, she could pull both, but
right? She like.
yeah, I'll watch her in anything. She's good. Yeah, I know it. Every guy my age right now is thinking about career opportunities.
I just was, yeah.
Yeah.
Guilty. Mechanical bull. Yep.
Rob was saying Doug Jones was Mac Tonight for McDonald's back in the day.
Yeah.
I did
he
not know
was.
that.
That's true.
Doesn't surprise me, but did not know that.
Aaron Afanas and What We Do in the Shadows.
Yep. Oh, I love it when we do the show. Yeah.
Yeah, that show is excellent.
And unfortunately, not really a bad thing, I guess, but I went back and recently watched the movie.
Yeah.
And the show has kind of ruined the movie. Because,
Oh no.
It did for
I mean-
me too.
because the show's just that much better because it's been doing it longer. And, when you have that type of humor in a tighter format, so your beats per minute are faster.
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, it doesn't take anything away from the movie, but it's just like, now the movie's just not nearly as good as as the show, because the show is just like, I mean, every
This show
season,
is wonderful. Yeah.
and I love, the only disappointment of the show is they couldn't see through what they planned in season 1 with season 2 with the Sweeps Week show, because they were actually trying to get Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt to show up.
Yeah.
And it just for whatever reason never heard the follow up on why it just didn't pull out or happen, but yeah, they were working on it for that second season. That would have just been fantastic.
That would have been crazy.
What show again?
What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, What We Do in the Shadow. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, but like the first season when they did the whole council and they had every person who was a vampire, but they
Wesley Snipes was
oh my god, fuck.
a vampire too.
Yeah, I got the
Zoom
best
call,
internet.
the janky Zoom call.
Mhm.
So great.
That was awesome.
I got the best Wi-Fi.
Pee-wee,
Yeah,
having
it's all pissed off.
Paul Rubens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just perfect,
Yeah,
perfectly portraying the Buffy vampire.
Oh, he was incredible. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the only one I had to look up because I never watched the show was and I can't remember the actress's name, but I guess she was on True Blood. So she was the only one I didn't recognize.
Hmm.
Oh,
Must be the same one I didn't recognize because I've never seen True Blood.
Yeah. So it was just
Is it the girl that played Rogue from X-Men?
Oh.
was it Anna Pam? No, I don't think so.
No, she wasn't on it. I think it was someone else from True Blood.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was guessing she's like late 20s maybe.
Hmm.
Was it the actress who was on Daredevil?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember her from Daredevil. Oh yeah, Rob said the same thing about saying from Daredevil. Yeah, so she was in the council because that was the only one I had to look up because everybody else I knew the actor and the character they played. or Ed from what feature? But that was like probably one of the greatest moments in television. Like, you know,
Oh
it,
yeah.
it didn't leak. Like the only thing better is the end of Newhart for all you old folks. The best moment in television.
I'll tell you something that I've been watching. That's Bob Newhart. It's called Bob.
I've got it.
Does anyone remember this?
Yeah, I've got the complete season
Where he's the comic book artist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mad Dog.
I watch that on YouTube all the time. Yeah, with Mad Dog. I don't know why, but I watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, I can't understand why you
They
would watch a
actually did a
sitcom with a
comic
comic
book.
artist.
He does this thing where he sits down at the beginning and he like starts drawing a whole page as the intro to the show, and I, like as a kid that blew me away. I was just like, whoa. Of course you realize later that's not Bob Newhart drawing that page, but
yeah, started rewatching it a couple months ago, and it slayed me. I forgot like the amount of people they have on that, you know, in that publishing studio to make one comic book, because they're making
they're all like running around in the back like they're super busy, like a lot of stuff's happening.
Yeah, it's like I kept waiting, like, okay, they got to be doing like this is like DC office, and they're doing like, you know, 20 books, you know. Nope, they're all working on that one Mad Dog comic book.
It's just that one issue. Well, and then there's like a scene where like in one of the later episodes they do like an award ceremony, and like Jack Kirby's there, Mark Silvestri, Jim Lee. They have like a huge cameo of comic artists. It was really cool to see.
Wow.
Yeah, I was impressed by the cameo amounts for people that wouldn't know any of those people watching the show.
Yeah. I geeked out. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
But then they go to season 2, and season 2, like he like goes back to being a gift card illustrator.
Yeah.
And the show pretty much gets canceled like 3 or 4 episodes into it. So
yeah.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I guess because people didn't understand comic books, or, you know, it's such a niche thing, they didn't think it was holding on the show. So he sells Mad Dog off and goes back to being a greeting card artist. Yeah, and it just tanked.
Oh.
Yeah. They brought like Betty White's on it, and she comes into the show, and yeah, it couldn't hold its legs. So still pretty funny though. I like it.
Oh, I mean, it's Bob Newhart. Come on.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
The man started his career by doing telephone monologues. The dude knows how to do deliveries.
I'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, I was all like pumped for the second season, and then all of a sudden it starts, and it's like this weird gift card opening sequence, and I'm like, oh, that's strange. And then yeah, suddenly he's back at the place, and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah,
this is bullshit.
They did a really
this is bullshit.
hard, weird reboot with that one.
Yeah.
Well, considering that Robert Crumb started in greeting cards, they could have went a really interesting way there.
Right.
He goes back to greeting cards and says, I'm going to do underground comics and get stoned all the time.
Yeah, no, that's a
What-
Bob
Yeah,
Newhart
I
show.
don't think the audience was.
I don't know. Bob Newhart doing things like that drunk Chinese food order thing from the old Newhart show.
Oh no, he
Yeah,
would
I
do
think
it.
there's not need for that.
Yeah, I'd say he would do it. I mean, yeah, remember his best friend in the world was Rickles. So yeah, I'm sure he's had, you know, some fun. So he would be able to pull that, you know, the resources out for that. Oh, I've done the research. We're good. And then
I'd love to see Newhart play like a really old hippie. I think Hellboy's done here. Just got to do all the crap in the background now.
Jesus.
love the shadowing on that.
Thank you. Yeah, this is what I started with. I was like doing sketch. I said, what if I did kind of like strong lighting from this angle and subdued lighting coming back up?
Mhm.
And then I kind of, oh shit, now I got to do background.
So, so is this a Christmas card sketch? Are those ornaments hanging from the tree?
Yeah. All the naughty children. All the naughty children.
Are you doing washes or are you doing color on yours there?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Okay, I just didn't know if you were going like great. I was like had some cool gray tone kind of going there with the white.
I know it's kind of hard to see what's
No, it looks great.
going on.
I was watching the white being dropped by. I missed when you did the skies and everything, so I wasn't sure if you were just doing a wash or if that was color or.
Wow, yeah, looks good.
No, I can't
We're
see
almost
shit
to
on
the
my phone.
fun
I
part.
need to open it up so I can look over.
And I don't know why, but I'm transfixed. I'm looking at him gnawing on that full of venison there.
Yummy fur. You know, I'm just thinking about it now. I think the most annoying thing about that last Hellboy movie
Go on.
was the physical prosthetic suit for the long shots with David Harbour.
Mm-hmm.
He had lost weight to play Hellboy, but he still had a gut.
Yeah.
And so when he's rolling around trying to avoid getting beaten up by a giant, you can see the fact that the prosthetic suit is kind of like a sweater on top of him. And I'm thinking for the long shots, they really should have got like a Doug Jones or something, a really thin stunt guy with that body that they wanted, put a David Harbour mask on him and have him roll around, because it just stood out how, it was a thick rubber suit on top of a kind of thick dude.
Yeah, something looked off big time.
I mean, not the fat shame, but I mean, why give him the fake muscles and then, really go out of your way and make it look terrible?
Yeah, I mean, especially when they had him at the one point where he's wearing was it like the sleeveless hoodie? To obviously cover when he was still trying to, burn some weight. But they gave him the arms of like, a roided out wrestler. Like he was so fucking cut in the arms, and I was like, yeah, I mean, the prosthetic work in that movie did seem to be, second tier.
Yeah. Yeah, it was yeah.
Yeah, because like that was the one thing I remember when I was watching. It's like, oh, okay, this is like if Kid Rock was Hellboy, because it's just like there was this like constant layer of grease that seemed to be coming off of him. He it just
was not a good suit.
Yeah. I think it was Danny or Rob said it in the post that so Mike Nola actually wrote the script for the new one?
I think he's involved in it.
Okay.
He's acting as producer for the first time,
Which is good.
and he got to oversee the script, and he's happy with it,
Oh, good.
which says a lot because I don't think he was happy with any of the Hellboy scripts at all.
Yeah, I remember he was doing PR for like one of the, I think for the last one, and he was just like, they asked him a question, he was like, nah, it's all right. And I was like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
No. Well, it's
That's-
terrible when the director won't do PR for the movie.
Mm. Who
he
directed that
got-
one? Was that Neil Marshall?
God, the same guy directed a bunch of Game of Thrones episodes, and he did a halfway decent Solomon Kane movie. Neil Marshall, I think his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Neil Marshall. Yeah.
Yeah.
He did Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, that's it. I
Yeah,
was trying to remember what his
that's
big
why-
thing
that's why I
was.
like
His dog, yeah.
So he knows how to do a good
And-
movie, but he's not being let to do it. I mean, it's like he's doing good TV, which is fine. But if he wants to make movies and they keep fucking with him,
Yeah, well, I was about to say, and that's the other thing too. How much studio interference did he get?
Yeah.
apparently, well, there's a reason why he didn't do. I mean, if he had done it and it was bad, you'd think he would actually go out and try and promote it.
Yeah.
He didn't promote it because the studio didn't let him do what he thought he was supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a hard R Hellboy, and they took that away almost immediately.
Yeah, Hellboy should be R. Thinking about it. But
I mean, even though
sorry,
no, I don't think there's any R content in the comic. I can't recall any.
well, I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna go with a movie and you want to go, crank up the violence a little bit.
Yeah.
That's where I'm getting where I could see it being R. Instead of being,
Yeah.
like Venom, where you throw somebody up against a brick wall and they just thud, instead of splattering the way they should.
Yeah.
And you've got a character that is born of hell, and you got demons running around. Shit should get wild. Get it violent.
Yeah.
But because the last one was R, but it didn't feel like it deserved it.
No.
I think that mainly because they probably dropped 2 F-bombs. I don't remember, but it was, again, because I can.
There was some gore to that newer one, but
Was there?
but yeah.
Because again, I have a hard time trying to remember anything about the movie.
There's some.
I think
some
you're talking about the
goreness
better
to it.
movie.
No. I'm talking about the Hellboy movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like when
I
he
can't
kills,
remember.
there's like a bunch of giants, and he the way he kills them is pretty gory, but
Yeah, I remember he bullets
It
to the
works,
head
though.
somebody, but I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he bullets somebody to the head, and like you see the exit from the backside. Or of course, I could be conflating a different. Yeah, because again, I am really having a hard time trying to remember any scene. Because he has like the zombie in the backpack thing. Doesn't he Yoda a zombie for a bit? Or
That was the first movie, I think.
First one movie, yeah.
yeah, the corpse isn't in the newer one.
okay, yeah, like I said, see, I'm just cannot come up with anything for this new one.
I think that shows that you're giving it the attention it deserves.
Fair.
You never know what Hollywood's gonna do with an IP. Like, I remember hearing about James O'Barr saying that the movie studio wanted Michael Jackson to play the Crow, and it was going to be a musical.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
And he's like,
wow.
"What the fuck are you talking about?
What the fuck?
Why even use the name if you're gonna do that?"
Holy moly. There is another Crow movie happening, though, eh? It's the dude who was the Pennywise, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know
That'd
if
be intriguing to see that.
how much sway or ownership James still has over that stuff, or if anyone can make a film out of it now if they own the film rights to it or something. I'm not sure how that goes, but
Momoa was attached at one point.
Yeah.
yeah, I saw some test reels of him like with the makeup on like a Ferris wheel or like a merry-go-round kind of thing. And he actually looked pretty good. I kind of see Momoa as kind of too big and brawny.
I was about to
for the
say
part.
that
he
was
should
my
be.
thought.
He should be fucking Lobo.
But he
not
can
Crow.
lean up though. I've seen Momoa pretty leaned up too, and I mean as long as you can, I don't know, like the Crow's got to have that chalk white skin. He's got to look, like a corpse basically, right? But not like wiry, like a lean heroin addict, something like that. But
Well,
like
that's Brendan Lee was the perfect build for it. Momoa, I think, would just be too big. I think Thomas just said it. Just keep him as Lobo. Just let's champion him as Lobo, please.
Well, that's the rumor.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I remember that was the rumor when they were filming Aquaman. They were filming parts of it in Toronto, and I had a friend of mine who was on set, and he kept on trying to tell me that, it's not Aquaman, it's Lobo. Like, trust me, I'm there, I'm watching it happen. It's not Aquaman. So I don't know. He made it. He was going on and on about the Lobo thing for a long time. So I don't know. He might be a good fit for Lobo. The guy they did that short little live action paramilitary Christmas special was fucking perfect. Like I don't know who he was or what that was, but if you guys never watched it, it's worth watching. It's almost frame for frame the comic book. It's pretty crazy.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, it was just on YouTube. I was kind of blown away when I saw it. I'm hoping to get my hands on some Lobo blanks. They reprinted the Last Zarnian, the first issue, and I think Simon actually did a new cover for it. But they also printed blanks with that kind of beautiful chrome blue, Lobo logo. It looked wicked. Bob Shaw has some, I know.
So you
I have to look for that.
Hmm?
Lobo logo.
Logo logo.
That's a tough one.
I had to take a breath before I said that. I was like, that's going to come out sounding weird.
It did.
Lobo logo. Lobo masthead. Lobo trade dress, we'll say.
There we go.
Speaking of Lobo, Mike, did I tell you that I actually found the my Lobo, I don't know what you want to call it, the book set in storage? I wasn't sure if I still had it or not. But
the slipcase set?
Yeah, slipcase, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the one that comes with the wisdom of Lobo.
Yeah, the empty blank book.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take that. I think that's going to be my convention sketchbook. I think I need to do Lobo one, yeah.
The pages will be all nicely yellowed now.
They totally are. It's perfect.
Yeah, it'll be yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. I have that slipcase as well.
Yeah, I was like, I thought I still had it, but I had to go into storage to look. Oh, Rob's saying, speaking of Lobo, they just announced Biz at Motor City.
I want to go to Motor City so bad.
I might go just to actually be at a con this year. It's so close.
It is close, yeah. Yeah, it's one that I've always wanted to do. Biz is always there. He always does great there. I always hear great things about it. Boyan goes, RB White, he goes all the time. He loves going every year. Yeah, it's not too bad for us. Not too bad a trip.
And Rob said we want you here too, Mike. So
Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, I'd like to. I actually don't have another show until Niagara Falls now, in June, which I'm okay with because I got kind of a busy next month, and we'll probably need some recovery time. So I think it'll be good just to kind of have a nice long break between now and that show, and then yeah, if I end up going to New York, it'll be a real busy chain of events towards the end of the summer there, going into October. There'll be a show almost every week for a good long stretch if I'm able to go to all the ones that I want to go to.
right a sec. Bear back. Cat needs outside.
He's a slave to the pets.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, we are too. I don't have a yard, so I don't have a dog, but our cats keep us more than well entertained.
Yeah, my dog's giving me the stink eye over here because I haven't been paying attention to him while on the show.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, my
Are you
cat.
okay there, Mike?
Yeah, I've just got a lot of congestion today, but yeah, it's weird. I'm getting some water, I guess. I think sitting at
Is it the con crud?
yeah, I mean, it might be a bit of the con crud. I haven't had any symptoms, but yeah, I guess I've been kind of claggy for a few days. I've just been really, really tired since the show. I've tested though. Erica tested as well. She had an exposure at work as well before the show. Thankfully, she's fine. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It was a pretty close quarters, very busy show. Yeah, I'm gonna get some water. Some spasm going on. Jeez. All right.
You guys like listening to my chair?
My desk makes this popping noise that I can't stand.
Rob's asking if you're bringing the belt to every con.
The show was going to send me the belt, and I told them just to hang on to it until I got back to Granite. It would be nice to have it here, but the truth is, my studio looks like a bomb went off in here, and I don't have any place to properly display it. And for them to send me something that's just going to sit in a box until I have to either send it back to them or smuggle it across the border to defend it. Yeah, I left it there after I won it because I just seemed like I didn't want to have to get into the whole conversation about going to a comic convention at the border. So I decided just to leave it at home, or leave it at the show instead. But yeah, I wish I had it. I would bring it to all the shows if I did have it. There is something pretty cool about walking around wearing that thing.
Just walk into the show with it draped over your shoulder.
Oh yeah, like I hope they'll give it to me on the first day of Granite when I get there, so I'll just wear it the whole weekend long. I sadly couldn't get it around my waist. I need to get a championship belt extenders to get around my girth, but but it was still pretty cool to have it on my shoulder. It'd be like when they were planning for Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan to fight, and they made Andre his own belt because Hogan's belt would never fit him. It was one of those. Meanwhile, when Ben Bishop was wearing it, it was set to its lowest setting.
Right.
It was like a headband for me, Did that new Ronin, is issue 2 out already? Did I miss issue 2 already?
Yeah, issue 2 came out Wednesday.
Oh, this week.
This past Wednesday.
Okay.
I personally haven't had a chance to go get it myself, so but I've heard a lot of people say it's good.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I'm enjoying it so far. I just haven't I forgot it was out this week. I'm trying to think of what else. I got Dead Romans this week. That was the only thing I picked up.
Yeah, I saw you post that. It looks really nice. What is that book?
So Fred Kennedy, Fearless Fred, he's a DJ up here in the Toronto area. He was also on TV, like on YTV and different programming on television up here. Awesome guy, huge Conan fan, Frazetta guy, just a comic creator. He's been making comics for actually about 20 years, but he this is his first one at Image, and Nick Marinkovich is the artist, and the guy's work is just unbelievable. I remember a few years back, I was at a little show in Kingston, Ontario, and Nick was there, and Nick just kind of had his own stuff he was working on. He had a book called it was called Voyager, I believe, and it was unbelievable. And I saw him just sketching at the show, and I watched him draw with this big flat brush, and he does this really sick artwork, like his figures and the way he drops shadows and forms. The guy is unbelievable, and he does the historical stuff so well. I'm not exactly sure what his process is. I know I've seen him sketch with a brush, and the guy just fucking blows my head apart. But I think there's some digital work here as well, some different elements added digitally, or it could all be painted for all I know. It's really hard to tell. It's got such a wonderful texture to it. They actually put me in the book. I'm actually right there on the book.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I was like, I can't wait to read this, and I posted it, and then Nick wrote on my wall, he's like, "You're in the book?" I was like, "What?" So yeah, it's great.
You're right underneath David Duchovny.
This is it.
That guy.
So I grabbed some. Oh, sorry.
Oh no video.
I grabbed some blank covers, so I guess I could technically draw my own character on them now, which would be fun. But yeah,
awesome.
Funny that they did that, but yeah, that's
this might be spoilerish. Do you die?
I don't know. Not in the first issue, anyway. No, I managed to make it through the scene that I'm in. That was a nice surprise. I think I read through it without even really paying attention, and then he was like, "You're in the book," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, one of those beardy dudes? Look at that! There I am." It's pretty cool. This is my second or third time. Dan McDade once drew me into a comic. I know Casey Parsons put me on a cover of his Valiant cover he did a couple years ago, and Nick Bradshaw drew me on a Conan cover he did for Marvel.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like a Highland warrior type dude in the background, and it's just awesome. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Nick's good people. Speaking of Conan, I'm super stoked about the new Conan series that's coming from Titan, with Jim Zub writing it and Robert De La Torre doing the artwork. I think that guy, I don't know, someone took the DNA of John Buscema and put it into a young Spaniard's body, because this guy is producing work that is just really feels like those old glory days of Conan the Barbarian at Marvel. When Buscema was drawing it all. I'm really excited about it. The work looks just so awesome. And Jim tells a hell of a great Conan story.
Yeah, he did the best stuff with Conan at Marvel.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a Jason Aaron guy, but I much prefer Jim's take on the Conan stuff.
Yeah, some of the art was kind of shaky. Didn't feel Conan-ish to me, but the stories were all solid.
Yeah.
Although I gotta admit, anytime someone uses Poser as the basis for their comic figure work, immediately turns me off.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't pick that up right away, but sometimes it's just so in your face. I've been reading this comic called The Last Barbarians, and it's from Image. And I gotta say, I'm enjoying the story, but I've never heard of the people who are working on it. And the art style has me actually wondering. And
It's AI.
Is it AI?
Yeah.
Oh, son of what? I had a fucking feeling it was too, and I kept on thinking, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this? Something's not right. Like there's a stylistic carryover that's happening from frame to frame, but there's just something that was fucking off, and it's been gnawing at me. And I noticed that the guy who wrote the book is also the artist, and I'm like, who is this fucking genius? And I never heard of the guy. And then I'm like, holy shit, I wonder if this is AI. But it says nowhere in there anywhere that it's AI. It says that he's the artist. So I looked him up, and I couldn't find anything where it specifically said it was AI. But
he's avoiding saying it, but he is. He's Haberlin's been doing digital work, like at the front cutting edge of digital work for a long time.
Okay.
And when I first saw it, because I had played with Midjourney when it came out, and I was thinking it's like, oh, this is trouble. Then I found out it was all stolen work.
Yeah.
And suddenly Haberlin goes from doing very stiff poser-generated comics to that. And I went, well, he's competent enough to hide the AI shit, but he's not good enough to bury it because he was never that good enough to begin with.
Man, it would be so fucking nice if the comic book companies would have been the first ones to say, you know what, we're not doing this. And
Image Central won't do an AI book.
Who, sorry?
But Image Central won't do an AI book, but that's with Jim Valentino.
Right.
So they can't control him.
I see.
And as far as I know, Image Central has turned down alt covers with AI work.
Okay, well, that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
But this comic, I know it was irking me, and I don't know, one of those things in my comic book I just threw in my just thought, oh, you might like this, and I'm like, oh, it's got barbarians, whatever, I'll read it, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I get that, and he's like, hey, I got your barbarian comic again, and I was like, oh, cool, and I fuck, man, this artwork isn't sitting right with me. There's something off about it. So well, I'm glad I know. It's disappointing, but I shouldn't be surprised.
I just found out that you can use AI to make 3D models now too.
Yes, I've heard that.
And I had to go on my Sketchfab page where I have all my models, and each one say they're not allowed to be harvested for AI because that's the main source, I guess, where the AI is pulling 3D objects from.
No shit, eh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
And I have all of my work sitting there.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, Stephen Finkel just jumped into the chat from the comicmint.com.
Yeah, Stephen.
Yeah. Hey, Stephen, I don't know if Stephen knows that. This is Stefan. He used to work a lot with you at Aftershock, but he's saying he's got something coming up with you, Mike. So
he does indeed. Yeah, it's
awesome.
So nice to be working with the Comic Mint again. I'm pretty excited about it. It's been a long time, and yeah, man, we got something pretty cool cooked up. I'm actually going to be working on it when we go off the air tonight. And I'm got some ideas and some interesting material. So I'll see what I can do. I probably shouldn't say what it is.
No,
yet,
no,
but,
don't say if because he's got
gonna
his
have
private
some
group and
fun.
everything.
Yeah. I appreciate that you're watching though, Steven. Awesome that you're here.
Stefan, not Steven, but yeah. He spelled it with an E-N. And these Stevens spelling Stefan wrong. I gotta tell you. So is it going to be another like one of his if you can say, not saying the title, but are you guys doing something cool like the design layouts, like the gates or doubles or?
Oh, you know what? We hadn't discussed that. I mean, that's I'm not sure if that was something that was in the plans or not. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't think we actually had that conversation. I know that I'm doing something. I know when it's due. but you know what? If Steven, if you're listening and you want to go down a similar direction to other things we've done, absolutely, I can plan for that. My sketches so far have just been for a front cover, but I'm up for whatever, man.
Yeah, I still love the Pestilence and Unholy Grail one that ended up becoming.
Oh man, yeah, they were fun. Yeah, he was. We joked about that. Like maybe we can make this one work with those ones somehow. And yeah, that was funny. I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to do like a whole series that was just one long connecting cover and actually have it all plotted out like ahead of time so that it was, there was no surprises or weird,
where it looked like it was done as an afterthought.
Yeah, like less of an afterthought and more of like an actual cohesive plan. We had that idea for the Armageddon game for TMNT. I know when Justin was looking at maybe doing covers for that series, we were going to do an 8 connecting cover thing for the entire run, which would have been really cool.
Yeah.
I ended up getting super sick, and it ended up that it probably wouldn't have been a great idea anyway, in hindsight. But we had some cool plans for it. So, in a perfect world, it would have been fun.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, as a kid growing up, that was my favorite part of the Marvel Universe books.
Oh my God, they were so great.
Yeah, just besides I always nerded out on the characters I didn't know and could learn about the ones, but just having all 12 books put together into the big mad rush.
I remember before the we were aware of the Marvel role playing game, like the one that was kind of half role playing game, half board game, which is great. I got the basic and the original set and the advanced set somewhere in a box. I remember we used to make up our own dice battle game based just on those Marvel Universe, official handbooks. Those were probably my favorite comics because they were, they gave you all this great history of all the characters and snippets of different, and then you'd want to track those characters down. Like I remember once I found out the first, because I'd always see what the first appearance was too. So I'd all these ones that showed up in Fantastic Four, these characters that I loved, like Blastar and Black Panther, I'd start going out and buying their first appearances, like back when I was a kid, like seeking them out and trying to find them. And yeah, I love those books.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right. Ooh, while he's gone, he left his Hellboy on screen. Have to show that real quick.
Oh yeah.
We got the blunt horns now. Say he's gonna go with the magnets. We talked him into it.
Nice. I like when you can throw light sources and do all kinds of stuff with that.
Oh, it's insane.
I'd like to play with one of those 3D programs, man. I never really spent much time with those, but pretty cool. Man, you guys are all killing it. Holy crap.
The only problem with the ZBrush programs and things like that is you can't have your ghost moment. There's never going to be, the wet pottery wheel and. All right, feels like, oh, come on, man, don't make me dig any deeper on this one. Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
You're welcome. I got it. I got the joke. I got it.
I don't know. With VR, you could.
Yeah, that's true.
The ghost is haunting your VR connection, baby. Let's go in there and make some clay.
I think they're actually remaking that movie right now.
Of course they
Oh,
are,
the
because
remake.
Hollywood is dead inside and they have nothing new to give.
Clearly, yeah.
What? No.
They never did. I mean, they were making remakes. To the point where there was a comedy by Mel Brooks called The Last Remake of Beau Geste, because they had made it like 6 times
Mhm.
in like 80 years or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm saying that they haven't made, but I mean, it's to the point now where it's almost at ad nauseum levels of the remakes, because there's almost no air between the time the first, and then the remake. My personal favorite of all the remakes, though, is when they remade Point Break, and
No one really remembers them making it.
yeah, well, that's what that was
Right.
like when they came out with the synopsis of it. They're calling it a remake of or a reimagining of the Fast and the Furious, and I'm like, oh, you sweet
boy.
summer child, because the Fast and the Furious is a reimagining of the original Point Break.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was just like, because at first I thought, okay, maybe they're saying this ironically, but nope, they were, because they went to it a couple times comparing it to the Fast and the Furious.
Jeez. Didn't they do what was that one called Walking Tall, which was already a remake? They did like the Kevin Sorbo one, but then they did like Dwayne the Rock Johnson like 3 years later. And it just remade the same movie again, but with the Rock this time.
So I think the Rock one came out first.
Yeah, I
And
believe
And then
so,
they
yeah.
did, and then they did like sequels
Oh, okay.
to it with people still doing the character. But yeah, Sorbo is one of them.
Yeah, well, and also just to clarify, but the Rock version is a remake of
Right.
Yes.
of the 1973. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that we know that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, that's
This was
what I mean.
the remake, and then they kind of were like, well, since we still have this property, let's make some more. Kind of like Scorpion King.
Right.
There's like 5 Scorpion King movies.
Yeah, because they had sequels to the original too. Oh, but yeah, it's just yeah. Now, as far as remakes go, and like hopefully things do carry on. Anybody heard if they're going to make any more Fletch movies, or was that last one the last one? 'Cause, I can
It
go
was
with more Fletch.
critically acclaimed,
I enjoyed it.
and Ham apparently really enjoyed doing it. So I don't see why they wouldn't.
I hope they would. Yeah.
Which isn't really a good answer, but it's nothing. I haven't heard anything official on it.
Yeah, that's
Is
more
that the one with the Madman dude?
Yeah, John Hamm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I want to see it.
It's good. I mean, okay, so if you've read the Fletch books, you'll know that the Chevy Chase version and the John Hamm versions are not like the character in the book. Like the character in the book is almost like despicable.
Yeah.
He's very, very self-serving and like gets the job done, but not necessarily in the goofy heroic way that you see in the movies. But like I think they did a great job changing the character for film in that version. But still sticking to the core of the story. But Haim doesn't do the body comedy that Chevy Chase could do. But he has this great subtle sarcasm that he brings.
Because that's a pretty recent movie, right?
Yeah, last year I think. Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. I think it was like an Amazon movie, like because that's where I saw it.
Oh,
Also,
okay.
it just popped up.
If it's on Amazon, then I'll probably like be able to watch it.
Yeah. And they end it the way that story ends in the book, so I'm assuming they would pick it up with, the next book. So. Oh, Rob's asking. Yeah, Jason Lee was supposed to be Fletch at one point, but actually they were going to bastardize. There's a book called Son of Fletch, and they were just taking the title and making it, because the actual story in the book is someone comes up and says that Fletch has a kid. They're trying to get him for back alimony and stuff like that, but they were just going to take it. Oh wait, since they have a book called Son of Fletch, we're going to do a movie called Son of Fletch and make Jason Lee the Son of Fletch. So yeah, it was really weird, and I'm kind of glad it didn't go through, because it just sounded like they were, not that Jason Lee couldn't pull off a good Fletch, it's just like, just make him Fletch, no need to reinvent the wheel.
Well, considering that no one really remembers the Chevy Chase movie.
Oh man, that hurts, but I mean, I'm sure that stings hard, but yeah, okay. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, but it's not like Blade Runner where people are still talking about it.
True.
It's like people love the books. It's one of those wonderful things where the books are so much better than the movie still. And despite a well-received movie, people still talk about the books.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even with the John Hamm one, which I prefer to the Chevy Chase one, I think that's still going to be the case. I think people are still going to be talking about the books. Like a friend of mine was pointing out that during those no Bond years between Brosnan and Craig, sales on the Bond books started going up.
Really? That's the only way they get Bond?
And as soon as the Craig movie comes out, sales on the books started dropping. And so people want their Bond, but they would much rather have it in the easiest way possible.
Yeah. Rob was saying that they even had Ryan Reynolds attached at one point to play Fletch.
That could have worked probably.
If they were going to go, full layer of comedy with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still watch it. I'm just trying to think of his type of Fletch on what his take would be. I mean, he can dole out the sarcasm better than anybody, but almost think it would be like almost too sarcastic. Like every line would be sarcastic. Yeah.
I mean, he's almost unless he's doing a dramatic role, which is so rare for him.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he does is sarcasm. That's his shtick. It's almost like whenever Kevin Hart's in a movie, it's going to be Kevin Hart doing the Kevin Hart shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was recently working on something, and luckily it fell apart. But the company was like pressuring, saying, "Oh, Kevin Hart's interested in this," and I'm like, "Kevin fucking Hart for this? No way!" Right? And they're like, "Oh, but the money," and I'm like, Luckily, it was at Aftershock and it fell apart.
We may have had this conversation after the show.
Yeah.
Aftershock is, believe it or not, is becoming even more of a shit show since it's fallen apart publicly than it was before.
Oh, really?
Oh, dear.
I'm hearing worse and worse things about them. Not good. Not good.
Well, I know they keep on making books, but
I'm going to sit here quietly for a few moments.
Yeah, same here. I'm named in a thing I'm not supposed to talk about, so yeah. good fun things.
Well, I mean, technically, Valiant's still making books.
That's true.
I mean, I don't think anyone who's working on those books are particularly happy that they're at Valiant now. But the books are still coming out. What is it? They're publishing a book a month now, I think.
Yeah, just enough to keep alive. Yeah.
Yeah. That's someone's awesome chair.
I'm hoping
Yes,
that's
it
a
is.
chair,
No,
not like knees.
those are my
or anything.
knees.
That's my lower back.
It was my prostate. I'm old.
I don't think it should click like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more of a whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, Casey Wilson said you're also talented. She loves it. Thanks, Casey.
Thanks, Casey. Casey, your stuff's awesome too. I gotta say, I love your artwork, and that turtle you had posted the other day, very emotional piece, very expressive face on the turtle, and that is like a tricky thing to pull off, and you really caught a lot of just a lot of horror and drama in that drawing, and I just thought it was really cool. So congrats, and I hope I don't think I saw that one finished yet, so curious to see how that one finishes out. If you did finish it and you can show it off in the comments, because the sketch looked amazing.
Yeah, that turtle had like 100 times more expression than Entourage.
Yeah.
These half-hearted chuckles are what I live for. Thank you, guys.
That's all I got in me today, man. That's all I got.
And people are going, Entourage.
Yeah.
Was that the David Duchovny one?
Yeah. I am aging myself so hard in this episode.
No, I watched it too, and I don't know why.
It was in the zeitgeist. At the time, it was it.
Yeah.
No, that was someone's spine.
My spine.
My spine is broken. Okay. I got super nerded out about this really late at night. Last night,
Go on.
they remastered and have just released Dragon Slayer on both Blu-ray
Yes.
and 4K.
Yes,
I saw the video for that. Yeah.
Nice.
And I got the Blu-ray right away because I don't have a 4K TV.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see a 4K TV in the store, it looks fake. The definition's so high, it's almost like seeing The Hobbit in that super high def that they tried.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look. My eyes don't know where to go. Everything looks wrong. But I'm holding off watching it until my son can watch it with me.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my copy
Yeah,
gets here
so
tomorrow. I'm stoked for it too. So yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to arrive until Monday, and it's like here, and I'm going, oh, I want to watch it. Something can come over. Maybe Wednesday? Oh, okay. Being a father, man. Being a father.
Now it's just, I hope it holds up to, the headcanon that I have for it, the nostalgia layer, but to me, I can't tell you last time I saw it.
I got the cheap, crappy DVD that they put out like forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I put it in my DVD player, it shows it tiny on the screen.
Oh,
Because it was that early a DVD.
Yeah.
And it's I mean, you can see all the matte cuts and where they put everything together, where they assembled everything.
Wow.
And the sound's terrible. So they made a big deal in the description of the 4K about restoring the sound to theater quality.
Oh, very cool.
And I hope they did more than just that. I hope they actually, fixed some of the compositing and stuff like that.
The dragon itself was pretty awesome looking from that movie.
But I mean, yeah, as long as you're not seeing the matte, it's like saying that the Alien in Alien 3 is really cool until you see, the matte work.
But didn't they use a real lizard in that movie and just like tape some wings onto him or something?
No, because that's where they took the dog, because it was that's when they first kind of brought in the canon for that the xenomorph takes the shape of whatever it infected.
Oh, right.
So they had the dog running around with the costume. They had a greyhound. And it's just like there's some scenes like if you saw it before they remastered it, it's like, ooh, you can see the luminous discoloring where the matte was laid down across the film. And it's like, oof, that is rough. No pun intended with the dog joke, but I was just like, yeah. But I mean, because I really liked, I know a lot of people shit all over Alien 3, but I dig it for its idea. I mean, and the fact that it's like, inside the prison, they got nothing to really defend themselves, and not quite a bottle episode, but almost feels a little bottle episode style. But
I like that one.
Yeah, but I like the idea of the alien in that, where it's taken the form of whatever infected. Because that just opened up the whole Aliens action figure line and cartoon line.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah. I still got my ape alien. Think about to me is like one of the most terrifying fucking aliens you could think of, like a silverback becoming infected.
But yeah,
it's amazing.
I like the praying mantis one too.
Oh yeah. Like the only one I thought was pretty lame was the snake one, the cobra one. I was like, yeah, didn't quite do it.
Which movie was that?
What?
Alien 3.
Was that number 3?
3 was the dog one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's when.
David Fincher.
Like the gorillas and all that stuff.
Oh no!
Oh no! Those just the toy line.
The toy line.
Yeah.
Oh, they just basically made a whole toy line based off of that idea.
Yeah.
They're like merchandise.
Oh, okay.
Oh no,
cool,
man! I would fuck with a movie that had apes.
I was like, I don't think I remember seeing a xenomorph gorilla in a movie. That was
oh shit! Here's the pitch: we got to have a xenomorph land on Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Well, Disney owns the rights to all of that shit now.
Yeah.
Fuck, they do. You're right.
I was just talking to my son saying that we could see the Predator and the Alien in a Star Wars movie now.
No. Well, I it pops up on my Facebook timeline throughout. I forget exactly when I did, but I remember seeing these bumper stickers but it was for the Disney annual pass. So it was AP, but it had the V with the mouse ears on it. And I never understood what it was for the longest time. And I'm like, so I always thought it was Alien versus Predator. And then I remember when they finally bought 20th Century Fox, I'm like, okay, now we can make this AVP actually happen, the Disney version. So, it'll be they'll do
Oh my God. Mickey and Donald fighting off aliens.
Yeah. Well, as I was saying, what's that game that has all the characters in it? I'm blanking on it. How's it?
Kingdom something.
Yeah,
Kingdom
of Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, so now we can get Alien and Predator in that.
That'd be awesome.
It would be. I mean, I'm like all for it because, like you said, you could have Mickey and Donald and all them going after. Pluto could be the alien.
We have to kill Goofy before it pops out of his chest.
Sorry, Goofy. Time to die, motherfucker. Yeah, as the queen comes in, they bust in. You came into the wrong room, motherfucker.
Game over, man. Game over.
No, game over, guys. We're gonna die. Yeah, that's all I want now. I want Kingdom of Hearts versus AVP. And as they're just aliens are ripping through all the Disney properties, the Predator shows up and teams up with the Disney troop.
With the Rescue Rangers.
Oh yeah, there we go. Well, yeah,
the Predator show up and it's like, oh man, it's scary, and the two little hamsters come around his shoulders. Predator gets knocked out, so one of them actually grabs like the gun on the side and uses it like a anti-aircraft gun.
Oh wait, no, we're gonna take it a little further then, because like DuckTales comes in and Crash puts on the Predator mask. Because that way they can kind of incorporate the Mighty Ducks look with the Predator mask. All right, Disney, if you're watching, we get a cut.
Yep.
we just saved the Disney franchise right there. Who is at Marvel that we can pitch this to?
Oh no, we got dead air.
Yep. Oh yeah, I got it covered.
The sound you just heard is a dog being infected by an alien.
So Rob said he just reached out to one of the past tags artists currently drawing for Marvel. He's sure they got connections. All right, Rob, we'll give you producer credit.
Yeah, we know some people there. The problem is knowing artists at Marvel is artists can't get other artists jobs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was my falling out at DC is within like 6 months' time, all 3 editors I worked with went off to, not be with DC. And I was like, oh shit, I've got no way to get my foot in the door anymore.
Yeah, I remember Ben saying that once, when DC did that big shift and everyone had to move to the West Coast. His editor at DC that was hooking him up with all his gigs decided not to go, and therefore didn't continue working in that capacity for DC, and therefore the one connection that Ben had ended up being kind of clipped. It happens for sure. Like it's a weird thing. I have to wonder actually if that's what's happened with all these editors that aren't returning my calls. It was just like, oh, they just got jobs somewhere else, and I'm just sending dead emails to dead airspace somewhere. I don't know, or they're just actually ignoring me, and which is also viable.
Yeah, I'd say could that's up in the air in that.
Yeah,
are you talking about DC, Mike?
Yeah, like I had a pretty great ongoing chat with a lot of the editors and different people when I first started working there. It was really that feeling of being part of a team and part of whatever, and then just when the conversation just kind of abruptly stops and the job is handed in, and it's just like then you just try to stay in contact, and it's just stay in the radar, and it's just been strange. There's been like literally no emails coming back, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's just because DC is a big mess right now. Don't worry about it. It's just
DC is a big mess."
I was going to say that's also true.
They're pretty messed up right now.
Yeah, but that only remains a comfort for so long, But it is what it is. It's a funny business.
It's comics, man.
Yeah.
Wow, I think I'm about half hour out most from being done, maybe less.
Cool. Well, that's perfect because we're about half hour out from being done on the show.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
9:20, yeah.
Man, that sculpt is looking crazy, dude. I love it.
Heck, man.
They're all killing it. Look at this. Jeez. Yeah, I might stay up, and if I need the extra time to get this one done tonight, I might just stay up and do it tonight, because tomorrow I got to do a bunch of roughs for a thing, and I like to have a whole day to chomp away at that kind of stuff when I can. I like to put on good tunes and just like, try out different ideas and layouts and stuff. Although I usually end up going with my first idea, I find most of the time, like I get kind of fixated, which is a bad thing, but most of the time I find those are the ones that the editor pick or whoever is in charge picks. So I just kind of go with it. But I like to try to do 3 or 4 different ideas if I can, at least. It's weird to go so long without any work and then to suddenly have suddenly have a gig on my plate that's due soon. It's like, whoa, it's just kind of it snaps you to attention pretty quick.
Easter famine is the way of the freelance world, baby.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a really long stretch of no work, though. It was longer than usual, and it was just kind of this is maybe never going to end, and I'm going to have to do something else, for a while.
Back in the poll, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, we got Rob asking, we did it earlier, but just to refresh everybody. So, Mike, what size is your art tonight?
So this is going to be, I think 12 by 18. Pretty sure that's what we're looking at. 12 by 18.
Richard?
Illustration. Yeah.
11 by 17.
Jason,
Pretty traditional.
Yeah. Jason, what size is your piece tonight?
I went 9 by 12. I didn't go anything crazy. So.
Hey, no one's judging by size here. No, just
That's how I use the page.
Someone asked in the chat.
Well, we're not admitting to judging.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was in the pool. There was shrinkage.
We're not size shaming now. And Kelly, you got 11 by 17 on yours too, right?
11 by 14.
Oh, 11 by 14. Oh, okay. Ooh, the ruler came in handy. Thomas, what size are you working on there, pal?
This is probably going to be about 7 inches tall.
Oh, yeah?
Let's print it out.
Is that with the blunt horns?
It's a good size.
Or the full horns?
That would be with the full horn.
Okay.
Will it be kind of girthy?
He's going to be a big kid. Oh,
Are those horns cut?
girthy.
Awful. All right. How am I going to ink this? I don't know.
Well, I think first you should do is run out into the woods. Find something that died within the last year.
Find some kind of a cool bone or something. Yeah.
A chicken
Yeah.
fight.
It's like Randy earlier tonight asked if you were going to draw with a bone tonight.
My mom's been saving chicken wishbones for me, so apparently that's going to be a ghoulish package I'll receive the next time I see my mom to draw with. You can do amazing things with a wishbone. It's pretty cool. I like that you can actually use it like a drawing compass. Like you can actually get circles and create. You can actually Yeah, and then eventually you get to a point where you don't use that gimmick all the time. So then you just break it like wishbone style. And then you end up with some really cool, sharp edges where you can get some ridiculously fine points that kind of act a little bit like a pen nib. And then you get like the end of the wishbone, which is kind of like almost like a hockey stick shape. So you can get some big kind of like wide kind of brush strokey type stuff happening.
So we know exactly what you're going to be doing if there's a zombie apocalypse.
Collecting everyone's wishbones, yes.
You know, he's the one that died by having its femur bitten through. You get this kind of line.
Get a deadly line with a femur. What this stuff is, no matter what I lay down on this red paper, it ends up looking the same until it dries. So it's like these shadows look good to me right now, but when they dry, they're going to be so faded. I'll probably have to lay them down again. It's hard to know. But once the
Looks pretty awesome on the red, though.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I like drawing on red paper, green paper, stuff like that. It's kind of fun. I did some test driving on a piece of scrap here. Try out some different things. So some inks will be shiny on the surface. Some will dry matte. So I was just trying some different things. And pencil crayon. Pencil crayon actually doesn't want to go on really nice, but that's a little bit of gouache. I try a little bit of gouache stuff, so I know gouache will work. Yeah, it's holding up pretty good. Like it's just acting like illustration board. It's just red.
So Richard, I might be showing my complete ass here with my ignorance, but have you ever worked on Hellblazer, like covers or anything?
Hellblazer? No.
Okay, all right. I want you to.
Yeah, awesome if you did, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want you to. Okay.
I would have loved to. I would have loved to do John Constantine.
Oh man.
It would have been like, honestly, what I wanted to do when I was breaking into comics, I wanted to do fully painted comics for Vertigo. That was my life goal, and I did get to work at Vertigo, but I just did covers.
Mm-hmm.
And Vertigo shuttered almost insanely fast after I started working there. I take credit.
Oh, it's your fault.
Okay. Covers. I remember you did some amazing covers for Vertigo, and then it was that sudden. Like I remember just everyone just being so fucking sad that month when Vertigo shut down. Like, but yeah, you did some killer stuff. I remember there was sort of like was it like a clown or a mime type character? I'm kind of picturing, or a puppet type character.
It was that series, Imaginary Fiends.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, DC's hanging on to it because there's still movie TV interest in it.
Oh.
But because they're hanging on to it and not, putting money into it, it's like, let's do another series because the interest is already there. It's like, why would we spend money if there's already interest there?
Right.
So, I mean, it's like I was ready to do more covers. So who knows what the hell will happen with that? And I'm pretty sure DC is going to bring Vertigo back.
I hope they do.
They should.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's money on the table, and they're weird, kind of like let's kill everything so we can have a Sandman line, and then let's kill everything.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work.
Yeah.
So yeah, bring back Vertigo. Bring it back. Damn it.
All right, DC, you heard it here first. Bring it back.
Don't piss around. Everyone's into their stuff. Everyone's like super focused. You're listening to what happened, what it sounds like in our studios all day by ourselves.
Yeah, but we're usually playing music or movies.
Oh yeah. For me, I gotta have music. Today, I was listening to. I know Stefan has shared some of their music before. Now I can't remember the name of the band, but the style of the music is dwarf metal, which it's fucking awesome, man. It's so ridiculous. It's so unbelievably ridiculous. I'm gonna see if I can find that band.
I find the songs too short.
The song was
Zing.
yeah. The band is called Windrose.
Okay, I was about to ask those Windrose. Yeah, from
I listened to a shit pile of their albums today, and it's just such absurd, like singing about the mountains and the Dwarven King returning, and it's like a love letter to fucking D&D dwarves. Like it was written for me. Straight up.
Scottish.
I honestly don't know. I don't know anything about them. I just listened to their music all day, and it was good stuff to listen to, like drawing, kind of sword and sorcery kind of stuff that I was working on, and it felt, I don't know. I'm finding that kind of stuff's really been helpful for me lately. Stay focused, music with no lyrics, so I don't get carried away
or
by
just
my
some
own
serious.
by my own angelic voice, yeah.
Or some serious throat singing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that stuff's crazy too. I love that.
Well, I'm saying that's half their stuff from Windrose with I mean, like almost like their Napalm's Records version of Hugh from, I don't know if you know that band from China.
Yeah, Hugh. Yeah.
Or Who, I don't know.
Or the Who. Yeah. The other Who. Yeah.
Yeah. Not the Who, just Who. Yeah.
Not the Who. The band Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're great actually. I like that. I like their music a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Give me any kind of Mongolian barbarian shit, I'm going to listen to it. You know what I mean?
But yeah, the Windrose group. Someone was asking where they're from, but it's funny because like they're under Napalm Records, which you automatically assume they got to be Swedish, Norwegian, somewhere in that area. But they're an Italian band.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I did read that. They're from Italy. Yeah, that's right.
Italian band pretending to be dwarves from Norway.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh, they're
That's
great.
all over the place.
Yeah. But yeah, like Together We Rise and Drunken Dwarves, Fellows the Hammer in my mind are like in my heavy rotation from them. Like
their big song was it's called Diggy Diggy Hole.
Yeah, Diggy Diggy Hole. Yeah.
And it's literally about dwarves digging holes with axes and picks.
I gotta check this out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's fucking great.
Oh, and I mean, all their set pieces. I mean, the company itself does great, green screen style work for music video level, but the costume designs are just out of this world. Like
it's fantastic. Yeah.
Thomas, you're gonna just get Warhammer 40K vibes, or Warhammer.
Big time.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's total. I mean, like to the point where like someone might be getting sued next week.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Yeah, when I thought that the main track was Diggy Diggy Hole, I was like, come on. This is the best shit ever.
Yeah, but what you should do next time is like you're in the just pull up Napalm Records on YouTube and just shuffle.
Yeah.
The stuff that will come up is just so, I mean, there's so many bands on that label that I've enjoyed. Like, it's like listening to Rammstein. I'm not going to understand half the lyrics, but the music could get you.
If dwarf metal existed when I was in high school playing a dwarf character in D&D, I would listen to nothing else.
Your life would be so different right now.
Oh, yeah. Probably not, actually. It'd be identical, pretty much.
Oh yeah, right.
Mike, you'd have a career doing album covers for Dwarf Rock.
Yeah, maybe. This is the first dwarf artwork I ever got published. It's one of the things I kept. I did this for Warpstone magazine, which was a fanzine for Warhammer. And hold on, let me. And this was. This
Oh
was
shit, that is awesome.
yeah, and you can see the dwarf's helmet.
Wow.
Yeah, I love the helmet. Yeah,
There's two little dwarves banging on an anvil, like that's like the Hangover dwarf. But, yeah, that was my first dwarf I ever got published in a like a fantasy style magazine, which is kind of all I wanted to do. So yeah, kind of fun. Wish that magazine still existed. I overdid it with the red on that shit. Yeah, too dark. Oh well.
I think Kelly
Sometimes
took.
you win. Sometimes.
I think Kelly took offense to our dwarf talk. He left.
Oh no.
Yes. I know you're making fun of me for being short, so
No, that's not why we're making fun of you.
well, good.
I think you're probably as tall as me, you know?
I'll say you're not short.
You're not short.
I'm like
Are you?
You're tiny. Come on.
5'6".
Actually, no. The sexy.
You're-
I think the Pornhub search term is petite.
See, it's all about that forced perspective because I never would have guessed 5'6" from your photos.
I guess the hot dog suit adds a.
Yeah. Well, the beard, the 3-foot beard, you know, makes me assume that he's got to be at least like 6'5" to keep it from dragging on the ground.
That's assuming I'm smart.
I like how you added a question mark to that.
Yeah.
That's assuming I'm smart.
Yeah.
Well, there
Love
you
it.
go.
All right. Let's see what I'm doing here now. What should I use? Oh, I finally got to. I wanted to mention this. I finally got to meet and kind of hang out with for a few minutes Russ Braun.
Oh wow, nice.
He's a great guy.
Who drew the last half-ish, last quarter of the Boys series.
Also,
He drew Jimmy's Bastards, and I got to do a cover for his Jimmy's Bastards book. I believe I did a cover for another one of his books too. I'm trying to remember. But I'm a huge fan of his work anyway, and his daily sketches. He draws one of the best Swamp Things I've ever seen, and his daily sketches like of Frankenberry or different Frankenstein stuff he does is just awesome. Anyway, yeah, it was awesome to meet him, and he was in a sketch battle with Leonard Kirk, who's another another artist I really admire and a really cool guy, and they were in a sketch battle, and I actually, for the first time ever, just intended to go and watch a panel and actually just be part of the audience and watch it. And about 2 hours before the event, one of the show organizers came to me and said, "Do you want to just be in the battle with those guys?" And I said, "Oh, I mean, I wasn't planning on it, but I guess sure." And,
wasn't planning on it.
so that worked out pretty good. And actually, Russ had to leave about halfway through because they had stupidly booked a boys panel at the same time that he wanted to attend with all the boys cast that was all there at the show. And but it was cool. I drew that Luchador Swamp Thing, and he drew 2 versions of Harley Quinn very quickly, but they were absolutely fantastic. Anyway, yeah, it was just really cool to meet him. Really, really cool guy. And it was neat to, get him to autograph a book I did a cover for, years ago. And he knew me right away, which is funny because he swears that we had met before, but I don't remember meeting him. I don't know where we would have met. Like I can't think of a show he would have been at that I also would have been at. But he swears that we met before, and
Back when you were doing the poll, Mike.
Maybe, yeah.
Sorry, can't let that go.
But yeah, it was cool to meet him anyway. It was fun.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
I sat next to him in New York like 3 years ago or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was weird to get his perspective on the whole boys thing, like how, because it wasn't something that he was a creator on, it was just something he was kind of brought on to finish. He wasn't well received by Derek on the thing. It wasn't like it was a conspiracy. He was just hired to do the job. He actually resisted taking the job because he, again, it's one of those things where if the boys ever became a TV show or something like that, he wouldn't get a dime for his efforts, and which it turns out to be the truth. It turns out to be the way things work out because he wasn't the co-creator of the series with Garth and Derek. So anyway, I hadn't heard that aspect of it before, and I was kind of, that's just the comics business, but it was kind of interesting. He was drawing up a storm all weekend in Toronto. He was doing awesome work. I saw a killer Judge Dredd he did for my friend Julian, and he did some really cool stuff.
He's really good.
Yeah. I picked up his book. He did a sketchbook. It was a Spider-Man 77, like based off of the TV show, the live action TV show, where he not only drew like that Spider-Man, that version of Spider-Man, but he also drew who he would have cast as some of Spidey's classic villains. And there was just some really cool ideas in the book that he kind of, fully fleshed out and illustrated. And really, really cool stuff.
Did he draw the rope webbing, or did he draw webbing?
Oh, that's a good question, because it's kind of done like a sketchbook, but it's almost laid out kind of sequentially. But he probably kept pretty true to the show.
So you had the motorcycle on it.
I believe so. With some interesting casting ideas, I think, too, just from actors at that time and stuff.
I think I'm done.
Awesome, man.
Excuse me. 15 minutes early. All right, cool.
Yeah, meeting deadlines and everything.
I hate deadlines. Well, I mean, I'm glad to have them, but I also hate them very much.
Yeah, but if we didn't have them,
yeah, we'd have nothing. So.
Yeah, we'd be like a basket of kittens. Nothing we get done, just running around doing stupid shit.
We make that sound bad.
You know what I hate? People who don't need deadlines.
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck those
They
guys.
just get it all done. It's like all on their own. I'm like, you bastard.
Yep. Or you know what I hate? I hate the guys who just like start breaking out in the business and they're like super slow. And then you find out that they're super slow. And then they like, yeah, I'm super slow and I'm going to be late with this. It's my first job with this giant company. And then they just like call the guy and the guy's like, yeah, it's fine. Just hand it in when you're done. And I'm kind of like, what the hell, man? Like that wouldn't even have crossed my mind. Like I would have broken the time barrier to finish things. Like I would have done, unearthly promises to hit a deadline if I had to when I was starting out. There's no calling and being like, yeah, so I'm going to be late. I know it's my first day, but, and then it's like, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Just hand it in when you're done, buddy. It's all good. This warm and fuzzy future that I never dreamed that actually exists. It's crazy, man. I don't know. I find that irksome.
Well, honestly, I do appreciate that in some ways the industry's gotten better than when I first was working. I mean, the shit that I remember getting yelled at by an editor just because he decided he could yell at me.
Yeah, that's not cool.
No. It's like I'm going like
It's hard not to want to clobber someone like that in that situation.
There's an offline story I'll have to tell you about. I think I may have mentioned it once to you, Mike, but an artist I know who went over a desk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes, you know.
I'm going to scan this.
I had 2 goals in mind for my earnings at the Toronto Comic Con, and one was I have to get new tires for our car, and 2 was a new printer.
I was about to say, how's your printer scanner quest going?
I found the one that I want, I think, but I only made enough to pay for the tires, and the tires are more prioritized right now than the printer.
Well, let me counter argument. If you got the printer scanner, you could make money to buy the tires.
Well, yeah, I mean, it would just make things a little bit easier, but the tires are a gotta have now thing. The printer is the scanner, it's like I can scan with a scanner that I have. I just have to scan things in little pieces and assemble it, you know, which sucks and adds time to my day. But maybe the next show I'll be able to get my printer money, my new scanner money. I'm gonna get one of those 3-in-1 type deals because I haven't really got the space for a proper setup. But
I'm very happy with my Epson. I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
Replace it in emergency last time I was here.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm gonna get.
I'm digging Kelly's avatar.
The avatar? I can't see them on my end. Jason, that piece is looking crazy, man.
Thank you.
Very cool.
If you could hear my brain screaming.
That's what that is. I wondered what that was.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone's killing it tonight. It's not intimidating at all.
Try being the fuckface that can't draw and doing this.
I feel like I wrote something in the screen for that. Here's a upcoming cover for Second Coming. There you go.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's wicked, man. So are you still drawing the covers for that, and then you're doing all the penciling as well, or?
I'm doing all the layouts and the covers.
And the covers, right on.
Yeah. Wow, is that how blurry my camera is? Is it?
Yeah, I was going to talk to you afterwards. I'm not sure what's going on with yours and Jason's feed, but you guys are not sending high resolution feeds tonight.
Jeez.
I don't know why mine never seems to do that.
It might be a setting because you're using phones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably need to go in and change your phone settings to make sure you're actually sending HD video. Because iPhones or Android?
Android for me.
Yeah, I have an Android.
Yeah, I'll send you the specific settings you need to change then. Because Yeah, they try to basically, oh, you're going to try to stream. Well, we'll, save you bandwidth by making you send a, 480 video.
Thanks a lot.
Jesus.
But it's one of those things like, trying to do mid show, not really going to be the best, entertainment for people. Yeah. All right. So go into your settings. Okay. Go scroll down. All right. Hit that button.
Well, I'm meaning to get like an actual setup for streaming, because especially if I'm going to be live streaming drawing like this weekend coming up, it'd be good to know that. But I also kind of want to, probably get a good, I don't know, mirrorless camera or something.
I mean,
Do that with.
You can. You don't have to, but you can do that. There are some very good webcams. Like if you're not going to do kind of like the setup like how I've got it, I wouldn't recommend doing a mirrorless camera unless you just really want to, because it's fun if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But you can get away with some really good webcams. I mean, because Logitech and them are actually making webcams specifically for streaming art now.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have a
Okay, well then I want that info, because then I'll set up for that.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a difference of spending $200 instead of $6,000 or $7,000.
5,000. Yeah.
Because like what I use is an old Sony A6000, which you can get for like $225, but the lens, will run you. I'm using one of the lenses that I just don't use every day. So, but the lens is about like a $600-700 lens. So. It'd be much better if I actually drew, because then it would be crystal clear. You could see how shitty I draw. But, getting like a Logitech Brio camera, it's super nice, and it has, some very good controls that you can either pre-program or hotkey to like zoom in, zoom out, things like that. And you can change it from vertical or landscape format depending on how you want to stream that night. Which is handy. Yeah, we are actually like 5 minutes out, so we will. Yeah, so we'll kind of start wrapping up, but I think we'll actually have all the art in time to start the auction proper on Monday.
I was thinking like Wednesday afternoon.
Of course. All right. You heard it here, folks. All right. We're
Of next month.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't say which week. You're right. My mistake. I just said Monday. So, but so shouldn't be any delays, but we'll get it up Monday evening. So there's no game this week, so we don't have to worry about the game getting in the way of posting. All right. Any last minute things you want to let Mike? You want to let people know, like obviously where they can find you, just because we got new people here and.
Well, I'm still on Keith Rooth on Instagram and on Twitter, although I'm not on Twitter very much. Just Mike Rooth on Facebook, I'm mostly just on Instagram, I guess. Working on Dodge, drawing the last issue. Got a couple of cover gigs right now that I'm juggling with that, and kind of feeling my energy coming back. So hopefully get on some more. I think I'm on tags next week. I don't know if I'm on very many episodes after that for the remaining schedule, but I'm hoping to jump online and do some sketching more often. So hopefully you'll see me there too.
Let me check and confirm that. So next week is our coaster night. So right. it is you, Nathan Phillips, Dan, and Chris Vance, and Lansdowne. Yeah.
All right.
And you come back in 3 weeks. You're here for that. No, you guys, shit, son. Unless you plan on canceling on me, got you back on the tax day for a He-Man universe.
Oh right, yeah.
And then 4/29 for our Arbor Day-ish. What we're doing, and that's right. Richard's back for that one too. So.
Which date's the He-Man one again? That's the 15th?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I may not be able to join only because I have a surgery like 2 days before that. So I'm not sure I want to be sitting for a while. Well, we'll see.
That's quitter talk right there.
But keep me on the schedule for now. But if maybe there'll be someone on standby because I've missed all the He-Man nights so far, so I definitely don't want to miss that one. But we'll see. We'll see what's up.
All right, Richard.
You said Arbor Day for me. So what's the subject that night?
Well, it's Arbor Day-ish. It's every year, like the Saturday after Arbor Day, we do Swamp Thing, Man Thing, Floronic Man.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So that's what I thought. I'm like, just wanted to make sure, like, Swamp Thing and Hellboy. Almost any opportunity, I will draw Swamp Thing and Hellboy.
Absolutely.
Wait, that's a Man Thing night?
It's anything that's like plant-based character.
Right. So it's a Man Thing night.
He's polluted.
It's going to be a sausage party.
When is this?
4/29.
Is there any space open in that one?
At the moment, no, but again, I can make things work.
Yeah, we can.
Well, if you can, great. Or I could be a standby thing if somebody has to cancel.
Yeah, you gotta have you on Man Thing night.
And I'm gonna be here, I think.
Yeah, see, I was waiting for that part. Wait, yeah, I think, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think I go anywhere until June, probably. So
yeah.
Richard, anything last minute you want to plug or let people know where they can find you?
Well, you can always find me on Instagram, even though I'm shadow banned currently.
Oh, are you?
For drawing my witch. Yeah. It's really interesting.
Dude, I love your Witchy Wednesdays. They are phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
I've been meaning to tell you that. I didn't realize that was you. I'm like, who is Rich Pace? No offense. Like, I didn't know who you were, and I looked you up, and I'm like, holy shit! I follow this guy. His stuff's phenomenal. and then you pull out this insane Hellboy piece, and I'm like,
I got the third arc of Second Coming's coming out, I believe, this month or the beginning of April. I did the Death Dealer story in the upcoming Frank Frazetta Free Comic Book Day comic.
Yeah.
Awesome.
God damn, that's blurry.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow, what if I just like make it really, really close?
Would help, but
yeah, so Richard Pace on Instagram. Patreon is also Richard Pace. So if you want to see my stuff uncensored, then I do that. But other than that, it's me doing comics. And next weekend I might be doing a live drawing event if you help me fix my phone settings.
I will help you fix that. Yes, we'll get you set up. Yeah. So with your Patreon, what do you got there? Like, what do people get for that?
There it's just $1 a month. They get to see everything. They get to see the witches usually a couple days before everyone else does. They get to see all the behind the scenes stuff, like when I'm working on the covers. There's the stuff that would be fully censored on Instagram doesn't even go to Instagram anymore. It goes right to Patreon. And I do an annual mini print that all my backers get for their support.
Very cool.
$1 a month.
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. I'm signing up right now.
I would say, I'm going to sign up right now.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do that.
I got several $1 a month Patrons that do, so just add it to the cause. All right, Jason, what about you, man? What do you got happening?
I do have a couple of new covers coming out. I can't talk about yet, but I'm excited for those in the coming months. I think like May and June. I'm finishing up Bounty Bullfrog #2. It's been fucking forever, and then I'm trying to get. I'm taking commissions right now. So if people are interested in commissioning me, I'm taking commissions because my poor computer is on its last leg out, and I'm trying to get a jump on that before it dies on me. So I'm taking commissions.
All right.
Awesome.
So people reaching through.
And my handle is
Jason Flowers.
oh, sorry. My handle is Jason Flowers Art on everything. So
Yeah.
Jason Flowers Art.
Got the Instagram tags on everyone's screen tonight. So if you want to reach out to
Awesome.
everybody,
Thank you.
just connect there. All right. Kelly.
Well,
you knew it was
Suave
coming,
is
buddy.
finished.
Come on, I gave you 4 people.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, Captain Suave just finished, so the trade will be out later. I'm working on a new Mad Cave series. Hasn't been announced yet. It's part of the creator-owned stuff. The Boris Karloff book with Gold Key, all that stuff's
That's so
going to
rad.
be better explained, I imagine, soon. The Kickstarter for the special edition of the first issue, I think they launched that this coming week.
Well, if you get an opportunity for input on that, suggest doing the Arsenic and Old Lace prequel.
Okay.
Okay. I was eventually going to get too deep of a cut tonight on something, and there it is, folks. So, Boris Karloff is in Arsenic.
And I'll be at a C2E2 next weekend in Chicago.
Awesome.
There's covers. I don't know. I'm working on stuff. Just look for it.
Right there, folks.
Just look.
On all of my social media, but it's not spelled like you think.
Yeah, I have it on screen so people can see it. So, all right, Thomas.
Yeah, so I've been just busting stuff out on my Etsy store lately. I'm glad that I get to be on the show because then I get to actually sculpt something too.
Your mic is super low, buddy. I'm not sure if anybody else.
Is this any better?
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, like I was saying, I've been just trying to get caught up with my Etsy orders and everything. I'm glad I can be on the show every once in a while because that's the only time I get to make something new these days. But you can find me on Instagram under Curiosity by Thomas. Actually, anywhere on social media, that's where you find me. And on Sketchfab, under the same name, you can see a lot of my models.
Awesome.
I have about 25 things that I want to get done when I can get back to sculpting. So hopefully I get a little time to do some of that. So.
Yeah, hey, don't complain about being busy though, man. We can all use it. So.
No. Yeah, definitely not complaining about it.
All right, well, everybody, thanks for being here, both sides of the camera, and we will see you next week, like I said, for our coaster night. I'll put the sign-up list on the page shortly after we do the auction. And everyone have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, Stefan.